Alright, we are live. The spooky ooky music in the background.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's not it's not
Sounds like
indicative
it's
of
distracting
anything.
you.
It's not indicative of anything.
I'm not distracted.
No, it's not distracting. It's also not indicative
I
of
just hear
anything.
the occasional la la, and if it's
Dark synth.
someone's gonna die.
That's the sound of an intellect devourer.
Yeah.
That's when you got two of those brain worms.
I know, right? Worms. Okay. Let's do recap.
Well, we're just handling the start of the last session was just handling the fallout of the Intrepid attack, and once we made sure that no one was grievously harmed, although some of our new recruits were, or one of our new recruits was brought to unconsciousness. We continued the defense in court for Gus. I got the sense that I suppose the prosecution, I think is the correct term.
That's correct.
Case. Yeah, their hearts didn't seem in it, or like they no longer like inherently believed that either they had the evidence or that Gus was a reasonable suspect at this point. But we ended up, with our own investigation, brought what seemed like a very overwhelming narrative, a straightforward narrative, that, yeah, the man sleeps with grenades, and so one of them got found out, but he doesn't. We have no reason to put it in a gift ship, and we just got attacked. So, that's even before we got to the kind of recess. And I'll stop there.
Well, we won the trial, right? We also found out that Glaive and Lockett have arm blades. That was kind of a problem when they had to relieve their weapons.
You have to literally disarm them if you want to do that.
But during the trial, Forgemaster Zund was looking like he was in pain, and we were curious as to what that could be. And it turns out he did have a little brain eater best friend.
Yep. A little guy.
It's a little passenger.
Who was very clear on us not interfering in the eating of Forgemaster Zund's brain.
Then we ended up we were talking to him during the trial, and we decided to let the trial, they convinced us, or we didn't want to make a scene or something like that, to let the trial go on. And once it was done, we were chasing after him. And some of us left all of our stuff, but we caught up to him after we decided to follow him, and weren't very stealthy about it. But Altaic connected with the brainworm somehow, and
Reached out.
yeah.
We got some info.
Yeah, we confronted them, and then they mentioned something about a meeting with the creature known as Battleclaw. So in order to make use of this information, it seems like we're going to have to go further into the kind of... I mean, we refer to it as the hellscape, but it is just Lava Giant Home.
Probably beautiful for them, yeah.
Yeah, it is just where they live. And if it wasn't so hot, I could appreciate the the glowing crystals, these plumes of flames. There seem to be bubbles about us as well. Maybe there's some sort of gaseous bloom. but we had more pressing concerns as we, closed the distance on the Forge Master and their parasite. After getting that, we kind of launched another. It's concerning how often we say this now, but another ambush surgery to remove a parasite.
Very concerning.
Yeah. And it's a bit more difficult because this parasite wasn't that developed and it was slightly more coordinated or able to defend itself, but Valerian was able to slay the intellect devourer. Once again, Rick was able to, with the help of Toad, both on medicinal duty, were able to extract the intellect devourer and heal the injured part of the giant's brain. But we're now just dealing with the logistical issue of we have a stabilized patient out in what seemed like extreme wilds to us. How do we get him back? And currently, it feels like we left off on the notion that Rick and Toad would be returning to the city to get help, while the captain and newly minted officer Altaic is left to watch over the unconscious figure.
Good recap. Absolutely. Everybody take your inspiration. Thank you, everyone, for contributing. I've learned how to balance that out pretty well. Forge Master Zund, for all intents and purposes, is incapacitated, unconscious, but stable. But his fiery body is too hot for you, the four of you, to reasonably transport him back to the city, which is about 30 minutes away. So as we left off last session, Toad and Rick had decided to travel to the city, and if I understand correctly, Toad was wild shaping to carry Rick with them?
Yes. Toad will use their last wild shape to wild shape back into a verb.
Okay. Understood. If that's still the case, you can go ahead and mark that accordingly, and I will just consider y'all traveling at this moment in time. Altaic and Valerian, you remain behind. Is that still the case?
Yeah. I think I'll try to take a short rest, or start to take a short rest while we wait.
Yeah, I mean, short rest is 10 minutes, so you may do so. Altaic?
Let's see. Is there any... Okay, so this is the Forge Master. He'll want to go over like any other. Does the Forge Master have any documentation? Like he was, this parasite was set to go on like a meeting. Mm-hmm. Was he supposed to bring something on it? Is there anything on his person aside from the parasite that needed to be like delivered?
Yeah, loot him.
Yeah, go ahead and make me an investigation.
8.
So what I will give you is that there was nothing indicative of some sort of documentation that Forge Master Zund that would lead you to believe that he was bringing some sort of secrets to the Giants, at least in physical form. Now, you can opine that maybe there was some knowledge that he had, but as to what that is, you are unsure. You do know that this is a relatively well-positioned individual in the Fire Giant Society at the Suat Foundry, being the Forge Master himself, which from your gauge, seems to be a fairly esteemed position in the hierarchy.
Yeah, Altair will, look to the captain and it's like, well, there's nothing on him, but it's concerning to see how quickly the infestation has risen. I don't know much about giant hierarchy, but he seems to be a stone's throw away from the king at court. Perhaps not in terms of hierarchy, authority, but perhaps mere proximity is enough.
It's concerning. It's concerning that it can get this far to Forgemaster Sund was able to presumably heal Fuldir. Although now I'm not sure that he did. But capable of a lot of magic, and the fact that he could get infested this quickly is more than concerning.
Maybe
Just
he
wondering-
was the source. As a healer, you would have access to more.
Well, not necessarily, because Fuldir's brain was more eaten, right?
It was more eaten, but that's a good question. No, I'll pose to Toad. Is times and damage or is the damage corresponding to time, or is that something the parasites can control?
Make me... Make me a history check. History or nature?
$11.
Your roots, before you were known as Altaic, was in a parasitic entity. In this form, you understood that you had some element of effect and control over the rate of infestation, is the best way to put that.
Mm-hmm.
It was inherent, it was instinctual to you, the speed at which you assimilated with a creature. And in particular, the assimilation with Alaric was a symbiotic process in which there was initial very quick assimilation into his arm, and then as the symbiotic relationship grew deeper, your burrowing was at a slower pace. So you opined that you had control at the speed of which you assimilated with the creature. And it's possible that instinct is inherent to other parasitic creatures such as intellective owls, being that they are of somewhat of a sisterkin to you.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, Altaik will kind of muse. It's like, perhaps it was. I don't like to invite the comparison, but once they take root, parasites don't necessarily need to. They have the luxury of time.
Interesting. Just kind of stare at Altaik for a second too long, and then look back at the Forge Master. It's interesting that it would be almost a contagion of sorts. Maybe it's more of a Trojan horse. Well, an Eberron horse.
Oh, those damn Syrians with their horses.
It could be like a vessel, basically, for them to control one and then have that one provide them shelter or obfuscate them in some way. It's interesting. That's very interesting. But whatever this Battle Claw meeting is, I don't know. Doesn't sound good.
I don't suppose we invite the Forge Master to continue the ruse. Because I don't know. I could try, as we confront this battle claw, to get more information by claiming to be a replacement for whatever this parasite's identity is.
Be interesting to do, but if Toad and Rick can't get the Forge Master back, at least even to consciousness, it's hard for. We would have to wait and wait for them to recover, and then go back out. And I don't know that we have that time.
That's true.
All right.
If there's some kind of, illusion or well, Forge Master Zone is just so big, you can't really pretend to be him either.
All right, we're going to pan the camera back to Toad and Rick, who are heading into the city. Who are you seeking out?
Should we go for the king?
I guess so. I mean, the king, or what was that other guy? What's his name? It's like right-hand man.
Duke Zalto?
Duke Zalto, and then Commander Hawk is the security.
Maybe the Duke Zalto?
Okay.
Sure.
Where does he live?
Yeah, so it's the middle of the day that you guys just concluded the trial. Duke Zalto is still near the king's, I guess, seat of power, and you are able to locate him. What do you tell Duke Zalto?
Are you still a bird, by the way?
Caw, but I can talk now as a bird.
Yeah.
I have to stay a bird if we want to get back fast. So
Okay.
maybe. I mean, I could. Duke Zalton,
Oh.
hello.
Hi. Hey,
Oh.
it's us.
Yeah, we're
It's
busy
Toad
right
and
now.
Rick.
What you want? Fuck you want?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
We had an emergency.
What kind of emergency? Y'all been dealing with a whole bunch of shit. Please
Yeah,
don't
it's
tell me
getting
another
worse.
ship has exploded. I can't deal with that right now.
That's maybe worse. Forge Master Zund is hurt, and we need your help.
You found him.
Yeah. Wait. He knew he was missing?
Yeah, he went missing right after the trial.
Yeah. He just wandered off. We followed him because he was acting weird. Anyway, we found him, and we need help getting him back into town.
Shit. Okay, alright. Give me a minute. And he steps into the king's hall. And shortly thereafter, after about 5-ish minutes, King Zundor, Duke Zalto, and Commander Hawk come outside and say, "Take us to the Forge Master."
All right. You're gonna have to follow us, I guess, on foot. But you guys won't have any issues with the lava, I guess. That's gonna be easier for you.
Won't be a problem.
Yeah.
And they
this
all
way.
activate the fire eruption from the bottom of their feet.
Ah, damn, you're so cool.
they can. That's so cool, Rick.
Yeah.
Okay. So it takes you just to the end of your polymorph blast, or your wild shape lasts an hour or longer.
4 hours.
Oh, that's right, 4 hours. Pardon me. Yeah, so you are
An
solid
hour.
there.
Who do you think I am?
Yeah. Some scrub.
Okay. And with that, the king himself, alongside his retainers, arrive with the two of you back to Forge Master Zund, Valerian, and Altaic. In relatively quick time, because they can move not as fast as you, Toad, but about 60 feet per round. So they're quick.
Toad will get ahead and then do a little loop and then come back and then get ahead, do another little loop, come back.
Just
Trying to
show
make
it.
Rick a little dizzy.
Uh,
No, don't! Oh, ew!
Not in the gears, not in the gears. Okay. All right, so the three of them arrive, and then they quickly fly over to the location of the Forge Master and the two of you. So you all are a little bit intimidated by these massive giants kind of dropping down like Iron Man right next to you.
They all do the superhero pose. With
Okay.
The king looks at all of you. Explain, please.
I can't move my token. I would like to be in the seat.
Oh yeah, game paused.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll take, goes to make a report like that. It's like, Your Majesty, we, in the midst of the trial, we expressed some concern about Forge Master Zun, and found that the readings were inconclusive, but and we hope to follow up after the trial, but the Forge Master left even as we were calling after him. Finding the behavior some worrisome, we pursued and eventually found the Forge Master. Essentially, I'll take is going to obfuscate as much as he can, getting to the point of this, the Forge Master became seemed confused, and by the time we wanted to get a follow-up reading, we had confirmation that there was a parasite, and I'll take say we found another specimen after performing another surgery akin to the one we had for the Dock Master.
Make me a deception check.
Yep.
The king raises an eyebrow slightly at your attempts at obfuscation, but looks to Commander Hawk. Commander, your diagnosis, your observations. The commander seems to agree, based on the evidence of the purplish blood on the ground around Forge Master Zun, the incision, and he seems content with that answer.
He can produce a specimen if he needs it.
Oh yeah, you guys have that, right? Y'all have that?
You have a little floppy guy, yeah.
Okay.
For the cool jar.
The cool jar, yeah. Ugh, okay. May we have that for further study to determine if this is more rampant than I expected, please. He reaches your hand, the toad.
Of course.
Thank you. He passes it to Duke's Alto. He kind of puts it away.
I know, it's a little floppy, isn't he?
You have done a good deed bringing my Forge Master out of such harm's way. For that I am appreciative. However, I must ask for more of you. It seems that this is a larger problem than I had expected. I sense foul play. Your ship has arrived recently, and as such unlikely to be affected by such matters. I would ask as a king for your aid in determining the root cause of this problem. A boon may be granted to each of you in your contributions to this matter. I suspect the Red Dragons have a play in this, but they have been quiet for many a decade.
There was a mention, Your Majesty, of a name, Battleclaw. Would that be helpful in determining some sort of time frame or goal?
That is certainly the name that is reminiscent of the Red Dragons on this moon. However, that one seems young, as I do not know the name. Did he have a title? Was he named?
Unless
Man-eater.
Hmm.
Battleclaw the Man-eater.
Hmm.
The named ones typically are older. This is concerning. I must discuss with my council further steps of action, but if you will help me obtain more information about the situation on the ground, we would be most gracious and most beneficial. Will you help us? I fear for the safety of my own, as 2 incidents in 2 days are far too heavy of a price to pay for this matter. They seem to be targeting me and mine.
I think, I speak for myself. My goal was to find out what was happening here, and if your planet and your people are truly infected, we need to eradicate. Not just for your own interest, but for ours as well. If we're going to trade or do any business of some kind, we need a community like yours here. And so for me, I say, of course, I'll absolutely help.
Then we are of shared interest. Are you all in agreement?
King Zundir, you have my sword. Or, I mean, you would. I don't have it on me right now. But
You
I
have
would
my
have
staff.
Yeah.
I was wondering when y'all was gonna come get that shit. Here, I kept it on me just in case.
Oh, perfect.
Duke Zato gives you your shit back.
Thanks.
Do you happen to have Phantom there too?
And yeah, you keep Phantom in your pockets.
Sad to say no. He flew back to your ship. So
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a good boy.
well then, I assume that you have more information to go off of based on something you obtained from the Forge Master or whatever was inside of him.
We have a direction we can go towards, I think.
Very well then.
Actually, do have a question if we can requisition maybe some support here. This environment's not great for us. Do you have any way for us to walk around a little more safely?
I believe we do. However, I don't believe, Duke, do you carry the rings on you? No, unfortunately I do not. Very well. If you return to the city for a moment, we have some rings of resistance
Ooh.
that we may lend you in your moment here. Of course, should you wish to keep them, that would be an easy boon to grant. But I imagine that you may ask for something outside of that. But you are welcome to use these to accomplish your goals in the short term.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I think we should go do that. Let's get prepared and
Very well.
get everything together.
Very well. Duke, Commander, bring Forge Master Zund. Bring him to the forge. We must care for his needs. And the 2 other fire giants begin to lift up Forge Master Zund and are getting ready to fly back to the city. You going with them?
I guess we gotta walk.
Yeah.
We'll be right behind you.
Well, we can fly, Rick.
Oh, do you still have your? Oh yeah. Hey, you see you loses.
I mean, if you want, you can just fly back, get the rings, and come back. It'll be another hour.
I guess we could do that, Rick. You want to go on another adventure?
Yeah, just don't make me go Barfarama.
Don't puke on me.
All right, we'll speed that up really quickly. The 2 of you accompany the king and the rest of the giants back to the city, and you pick up at minimum 4 rings of fire resistance. Do you want to grab Phantom while you're in the city as well, or anything else from your ship?
I would love Phantom if you guys can grab that.
Phantom needs his own ring.
True, actually.
Can Phantom attune to an item?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
How do we get Phantom? I mean, doesn't he only answer to you?
no. He has
Oh, okay.
the help action, or the help ability, so he can help my teammates.
Okay. We'll wrangle him up then.
Yeah, that's simple enough that you can wrangle up and bring back Phantom. I'm just looking over Phantom's sheet real quick to see if Phantom, it would be appropriate for Phantom to be able to attune. I'm gonna
Yeah,
say
like beasts attune. I don't know.
I wouldn't think so personally.
I don't think so either. I think perhaps that's something you can work on later, but as
Yeah.
Phantom is not a particularly magically inclined creature, I'm going to say that at this point in time, he cannot. So, but that's okay. He can just fly over most of the time.
That's right.
Okay. So with that, you all can add a Ring of Fire resistance to your character sheets.
Okey-dokey.
I think you can just find one in the D&D Beyond. I mean, if you go to items and just type in Ring of Fire resistance, yeah, you can just add a Ring of Fire resistance to your character sheets.
Amazing.
Yep. And if anyone else wanted to take a short rest in this period of time, there's plenty of enough time for all of you to do that.
Does Toad need to get their wild shape charges back anyway?
Yeah, can I take a short rest?
Yes, yeah. All of you can take a short rest during this kind of intervening period. Assuming that you can take short rest in your wild shape form, I don't see an issue with that.
I could drop wild shape to short rest and then just get my charges back.
That's fair. Yeah. Okay.
We get a little snack on the ship while we're there.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So I'll say.
How do I find items in Foundry? I can't remember
It's
where the folder
next
is.
to actors. So you go to actors, then you go over to items. It should be one over.
Yeah.
It looks like a little briefcase. Do you have that?
I see better roll table items. That doesn't have everything though.
You don't
So
see
what I
anything
do-
else? Oh, go ahead.
What I do is I go to Compendium Packs,
Compendium.
which is just by the game settings. D&D SRD content.
That's where it is.
Items
yeah,
and
okay.
spells, item, and then you can filter for or look for Ring of Fire resistance.
That's where it is.
That's right. I forget. Y'all have to go to the compendium, not the actual items.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then you should just be able to snap them. Thank you.
Yeah, just drag and drop it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I just couldn't remember where it was. I was like, where's that big thing of items?
I can't remember if it requires attunement.
Apparently it does.
Yeah, it does require attunement. So,
How do we attune?
it should be in your settings. If you go to inventory,
Is there anything special I need to do, or can I just attune?
no, it only takes an action to attune something. It takes 10 minutes
okay,
to
gotcha.
de-attune to something. So yeah, you just click the little gears for the attunement.
And how many things can I be attuned to? I forgot this stuff.
It's
Three.
3.
Okay,
The
then
rule,
I'm good.
yeah. So right now we are still rules as written that you can attune it to up to 3, but my homebrew rule is you can attune to equivalent to your proficiency modifier. So when your proficiency modifier bumps up to 4, then you can bump that to 4 for all of your characters.
That makes
So,
sense.
I don't know if it can be changed. No, it can't. You can't change the actual setting, but you can just select 4 over. You can go over the number 3 on your character sheets.
Okay.
Yep.
I see the little attunement, like 3 out of 3 thing over there. Now.
But you can go over that. It won't block you.
Okay. Cool. I got a cool little ring on. Do I feel any different? Is it like, or is it just like it just looks cool?
I'm gonna say because it provides resistance. The outside environment, you feel a little bit cooler. Like you got an AC,
Nice.
like it's almost
Yeah.
like a little cooling effect on you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Mobile.
You should wear this the whole time.
So those are on loan, unless you choose your boon to be able to keep one of those things. But that is y'all's call at that moment in time. So
And then as for this exhaustion, we can't get rid of that until we long rest.
until
right?
you long rest,
Okay.
which it's about I mean, at all things said and done, it's probably about lunchtime. I mean, you can go back to the ship and, long rest a little bit earlier and start off first thing in the morning tomorrow, but that's your call.
I mean, we could. It might be worth it. But also the time that we're taking might advance.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess think.
I mean, I didn't rest at all the night before,
Oh,
so I'm a little tapped on spell slots. I can still wild shape. I only have a couple spell slots left. So I would be fine to go, but also I'm just laying it all out there.
from what we know, right? This is likely something very old. It has a title. And the king suspects red dragons, so most likely we're going to fight a dragon. And I think it would be it's just dangerous more than anything for you to not have any spell slots. I'm kind of low on spell slots as well, so I think we honestly take a long rest, but we can properly prepare, get everything ready, and then we go.
Okay, if you say so. I think it's fine. We didn't really specify like if there's a time limit. I mean, I guess they're going to be expecting Forge Master Zund is the only thing, right? So
That's
when
true.
he doesn't show, that might change things.
That is a good point. I wonder if Altea could communicate as, like, I wonder if it's like, well, maybe, probably not, because you'd have to be the actual creature itself to communicate with like the home base if they try to reach out or something. But
Well, I could lie, try to gain more information. Say I'm an envoy of, to receive word otherwise.
Yeah, the way that we kind of fooled Forge Master Zone in the first place. I think it would be smart and it would be quick to do it now, but
Okay.
I don't want to risk.
Well, this is always going to be a challenge. There's always going to be some level of risk. We can, if you were telling me that, my job is to gain some information and perhaps, you had my back as part of the escape, I'd feel fairly confident.
Okay, well, we tomorrow, whatever, later today, really, once we rest up, we can scout it out and find out which way we want to go. If we want to go in as envoys or if we want to sneak in some way.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as like fighting the dragon goes, I think our mission here is not to. We don't necessarily have to engage, right? Like we're just supposed to figure out what's going on.
We could leave that to the giants once they know
Yeah.
what to do. Here's my read. I think that if we want to go to this meeting, we would go now. And because I feel like my disguise and Battle Claw's patience would probably wear thin if I came a day late. They'd open me to more scrutiny. But if we were, I don't think that we're out of options. Captain, you seem to have a fair hand at investigating threats. Perhaps we could speak with the king about uncovering other agents, other intellect devours in their midst, and see what more we could gain there.
All right,
Yeah,
what? I'm officially making a vote for going today.
Okay. Okay, yeah, let's vote. I'll take.
We're already, we're almost there practically. I actually don't know. but it's just like, I think that I feel confident, in Toad that they could, handle themselves, though without, some spell slots. They, they do amazing things with wild shapes.
Travel
I-
time on flying creatures, which you have now, would take you about 30 minutes to the estimated location. On foot, it would take you about twice as long. So it'd take you about an hour. So.
Do we have enough? Can 2 people ride on Phantom?
Altic and Valerian rode on him once.
Yeah, it's possible. I'm going to say that his speed is cut by about 25%.
Can we
But
do
what if
the?
I ride on Phantom? I'm a small man.
You are the smaller. I would say then it's a negligible drop to speed. It would be, yeah. I would say that there's no penalty if it's a medium and a small size creature on Phantom.
Okay, cool.
Okay, if we were gonna go, then I think we do it like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we still haven't
My vote
finished voting
is-
yet.
Yeah. My vote is we go back.
Okay, 1 for go back, or 2 for. Well, what's the count now? So Altaik said go.
Maybe. Yep. Rick said
Go
go.
now.
Rick said go.
Florian
I'll
said
take
stay.
that go. Mhm.
Oh, heck, it's my decision.
If it's tie, you can always roll or something. I don't know. It's up to you.
Yeah, we could fight to the death for it.
Toad.
Okay, we're just gonna go talk to this dragon. We're not gonna fight the dragon.
I don't even know if we're gonna talk. We might just look at the dragon, confirm, hey, a dragon, and then go back and then tell the giants about it.
Mhm. I agree. No, I don't think we're confronting the giant or confronting the dragons on the giants' behalf. I think we're trying to find out, well, what dragons and these cephalopods have in common.
We're just trying to figure out what's going on here. I think that's basically what we've been commissioned to do.
Okay. Well, I guess we should just go and we'll make a decision about if we go in when we get there.
Okay.
That's 3-1.
That's 3-1.
Captain, I'm exhausted too. I get it, but
I mean, yes, I appreciate that. I can still fare. I don't mind. I'm just, if I'm honest, I'm concerned about all of you. I want to make sure that I'll take a little bit. I just want to make sure that we don't lose anybody again. But we go, we recon, we scout it out, and we do our best to absolutely not fight a red dragon on a lava planet moon.
Yeah.
we also have to be sneaky all on our own if we're going to be sneaky. I can't make us any sneakier.
Okay.
That's not true. I could one time make us a little sneakier.
If you bring in, I mean, some of your allies have the ability to cast that spell too.
We just don't have enough flying mounts for everybody.
Very true.
I could summon some flying mounts, but then I could not make us sneaky.
Well, they seem to be expecting one person. No, perhaps I don't need to sneak, and perhaps by being more out in the open, it'll distract attention.
Okay, I think I like that idea.
Okay.
Okay.
If it gets dicey, I'll take you. Feel free to turn and run. We'll back you up.
Yes, dimension door out.
That is a
That's not like that blink thing you did before, right? This is a different thing.
It is very different. That was a hellscape. There's spiders in there.
Okay.
They
I'll
live
take it. It's
there.
okay. It's okay. I'll take. We know.
I went
we
into
know.
their home.
There
It's
are
like
no more
we know.
spiders here.
We know. I'll take. It's okay. It's okay. Toad, you can't bring that up.
I didn't realize it was such a touchy subject. I'm so sorry. I won't do very many loop-de-loops with you on my back, I promise.
A couple.
Yeah, firing on, but he's gasping and sweating.
This is Altaic's new adversity roll, spiders.
Yeah.
And traveling to the ethereal plane.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So recon mission. It sounds like.
Aye.
Okay. All right. I'm not going to drag Phantom to this map, but whenever we get to the next map, you can drag Phantom accordingly, should you wish to do so. So, you take about 30 minutes to fly to the known lair of Battleclaw, the Man-Eater. It appears to be the remains of a ruined settlement that fell to battle many, many years ago. And it is somewhat apparent as to the activity here because there appears to be a subterranean entrance that has been cleared out and empty. It appears to be underneath a rather large, dilapidated metal building. And there appears to be almost like a garage entrance underneath that's been excavated, and it looks to be rather recent. So, this facility is not easily reconnaissable by the air. You may choose to go inside should you wish, or you can change your minds accordingly. From the entrance, it appears to be the entrance down appears to be 15 feet wide.
Gotcha. Yeah, Altaik will go in, but he will be casting detect magic.
Okay.
As he does so.
Okay. Detect magic. Okay.
And he'll use the action, not spend 10 minutes.
Okay. Got it. So I will pull all of you to the map. It's going to take a little while because it's a chunky one.
Ooh.
And I will just put you ahead of your peers. And so when you cast Detect Magic, what you receive when you cast Detect Magic is not a ping from a particular item, but you receive a low grade of necromantic energy permeating the space all over. An aura of death, if you will, inside of this facility. And that's where you
Gotcha.
and you see the stone and metal tiles and doors. The doors open in front of you and seem to jut out into some sort of open area.
Yeah.
But you see also that there are areas inside. There's small bits of light here and there, but there's a lot of areas in here that are pitch black.
Gotcha.
Before we go any further, can we just establish is there anybody on the outside of this?
There is no
is
one,
there movement or anything?
There's no guards, no movement. It looks to be semi-recent moving of wreckage out of the way of this entrance.
Gotcha.
But besides, and you see some footprints that indicate that there was some movement here. Some medium-sized, some large-sized, and even some huge size.
Oh, well. Just to establish, I guess we're parking Phantom outside of this facility. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, is that what you want to do, Val? The ceiling
hiding somewhere,
ceiling above you is about 20 feet high, in this area. It may go higher in some areas.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, 20 to 30 feet is your expectation, just gauging on how low you are underneath the ground level above you. So you're about 30. You walked about 30 feet down, so that's about as high as you can expect in this area.
Okay. Yeah, I'll leave Phantom out, but I will tell Phantom to be within earshot or stay close to the door so I can try to yell.
Okay, understood. Yeah, I'll say he's within 30 to 60 feet outside of the map to the south here.
I would also like to investigate the footprints, just figure out like what we're dealing with.
Okay, yeah, roll me an investigation. Toad, what are you doing as well? While I worry about that.
The footprints are outside of the
The
foundry?
footprints are
Like,
outside. There's like sand and gravel on the ground outside.
Could I help Rick as a burb?
You certainly can.
You're probably better at this than I am.
It's fine.
Would it be investigation or survival?
I'm gonna
If we're
call
investigating
it.
footprints. I just said
You're not trying.
investigating.
You're not trying to track, so I'm gonna call this investigation. Roll with advantage +2 because Burb Toad has keen sight. So.
Okay.
Caw, Rick.
Okay, I get it. Advantage. I'll just add 2 to this.
That's
roll,
fine.
So it's 20.
Nice.
20. Okay.
Nice.
So, you immediately pick up at least two different tracks that appear to be giants tracks. Actually, with a 20, I'll give you 3 distinct and different giants tracks.
Uh-oh.
And then you see some medium-sized creatures that are wearing boots or some sort of footwear.
Okay.
And then you spot a few, it looks like frantic steppings of barefoot humanoid creatures.
That's gonna suck. On this planet, being barefoot.
And then lastly, you get some very small pitter-patter feet indicative of like tendrils of like a intellect devourer.
Ah. Alright, little guys. And so the barefoot ones, were those medium-sized? Were those normal-sized people?
Barefoot was medium-sized.
I shouldn't be normal. I'd say normal, but yeah. Okay, so some barefoot critters. They're barefoot. They say humanoid. It's like 5 toes and everything.
5
right?
toes, yes. Well, interestingly, some of them are missing toes.
Yeah, because they're walking on fire all day. I see. So either some native creatures that walking around barefoot here that are humanoids, or some not native people that are being forced to walk around barefoot on this hot ground. That's either way, Then we got 3 giants. Look like size 50, size 52, size 61. That's a big boy right there. And then, some people in boots as well. So interesting little arrangement here. And in total, how many individuals? Do I have an exact number or just an estimate?
If you were to estimate, you got a distinct number of 3 different giants. The humanoids range in maybe close to a dozen. The ones missing toes, a handful, and the intellect devourers, I mean, they're small and numerous. There's a lot of them. Double digits. Any higher guess than that is a little bit difficult.
Gotcha.
And these tracks, except for the giants, all the tracks go both directions.
Okay, so they've been doing some renovations in here. Let's get ready, people.
Okay.
But no dragon-like markings, as far as I can tell.
As far as you can tell, no.
Okay. All right. Now we're heading inside.
Oh, well, I guess this isn't the dragon entrance. Huh. With these, this seems to be like a door opening. Does it look like there's like a locking mechanism? Does it look like it's been like sealed for some time? There's like a question of like, with the necromantic powers and aura at play, like, was this supposed to be a tomb?
Make me... I'll call that an investigation check. This does not seem to be a tomb. Further investigation may be required. It looks like this was giant made. But you're not immediately detecting like the original making of this is indicative of the necromantic energy that you're feeling.
Gotcha.
Sorry, I wrote down in our last session that this was an old foundry that fell.
Right. Mm-hmm.
An old foundry.
Okay. All right.
Altaic, make me an intelligence check.
Gotcha. Oh, sorry. That's a saving throw.
What would be this? It would be.
It would still be this. It would still be
That's
plus
fine.
2.
Okay.
Okay.
Nothing to worry about. You're good.
Thank you. Yeah. I'll take. We'll move further inside. It's like an old foundry with necromantic powers. What were they making here? All right.
I think, for the record, we're letting Altaik go ahead and we're kind of like slinking behind him.
Yeah, and like the information. Once again, he'd like to set up the telepathic speech to like regularly communicate, but
Sure.
without like giving the party's position away.
That's fine. Okay. And what's the range of telepathic speech?
It's like miles, I think.
Oh, okay. If it's miles, then
or
we're
a
fine.
mile.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
1 mile. Minimum of 1 mile, but with my charisma, or Altaic's charisma 5.
Okay, perfect. That's fine. Yeah, I forget. I knew there was some range. You have to be within 30 feet to initiate, and then once that, then you're summoned. So, okay. All right. Understood. Understood. The rest of the party will kind of be slinking behind. All right. As you enter into this room a little bit more, you see 3 sets of double doors. One set to the north, west, and east, respectively. It appears that the set of double doors on the west seems to have been like locked off in a very basic way, like tied up with rope and some metal bars bent around it as to like contain whatever is inside, not like a particularly sturdy lock.
Particularly sturdy lock. Okay. Does it look like it's seen signs of it? Like, he'll approach and like get a sense of whether it's seen signs of like being opened or whether or not there is like an arcane lock on it.
Okay. Yeah, there's no. You can approach, and there's no arcane lock on it. It looks like it was like roped off, and metallic things were run through the door to like create like a. Almost looks like it's barricaded off. Not an actual lock. Yeah.
So they're keeping something inside. They seem to have just barricaded something within. I mean, this is a meeting where a giant was supposed to come. Was his Battleclaw inside? Maybe a red dragon. Maybe I should go where the heat is. Through any of these doors, are there like seams of like red fire?
No.
Peeking through any of
There
them?
is
Okay.
no roll required. You're not sensing any inherent like energy of lava or anything like that seeping through the doors.
For my sake, is this like a pedestal or is an indentation in the floor?
It's an indentation in the floor that's a little bit of a recess. And as you can see underneath Altaic, there are some body parts there.
Yeah, I see some gore and viscera. I was wondering if that was part of the scene or
That is part of the
part
scene.
of the map.
That is
Okay.
part of the map.
Hey, don't step in there.
There's
Get
also
out of there.
there's also a severed limb right here.
By the way, I can't see. I thought
You're in
everyone could
pitch
see.
black.
I can't see at all.
You're in pitch black right now.
I have, I guess, low light vision, huh?
Oh yeah. Altaic will. He should. Do I have light? I think I do. Spells. I do not.
One of you. At least one of
Nerd.
you has
I can
it.
cast light on you. We can retcon it. I can cast light on you.
Oh,
before you
okay.
get
That's
in.
fine. Yeah. Can you target him? Does it actually produce an effect?
You
let
can
me
target
try.
like something on me, I think.
Let me just
Or like an
come
object
over
they
here
can
real quick.
hold.
That's fine. Yeah.
I do have to touch. I do have to be in touch range. Okay, target. I'll take with light.
Yeah. There you go.
Anything?
Yeah.
Haha! Alright, I'm just gonna sleep.
And these like and the body parts, do they look like they've been eaten? Do they like, are there like jagged marks at ends? Do they look like cleanly severed?
Yeah.
Are
That's
they whole?
a good question. Make me another investigation.
Okay. This is something where he'd like to like, there are all these body parts and he wants to like try to get like feedback from Rick. It's just like like reporting what he knows or what he sees about the body to like get some sort of
Sure.
conclusion.
Yes.
Investigation.
So who are you maintaining the telepathic link with? Because I think you can only target one within
Yes.
30 feet.
Yes, I can only do one within 30 feet. I think by default it would be like the captain.
Okay, no worries. I mean, you can relay information to them
Yeah.
and they can talk amongst themselves. I'll say that
Yeah.
your investigation gets help then from Rick in your description, since you can still, the three of you down there can communicate. So.
I don't think the light worked for me, by the way. I can't see still.
No.
I can see a little bit, like
Really?
Oh, I might be on like
Hallway?
the edge of your vision or
Is my
something.
token on this on the?
Yes.
Your token's here, yeah.
Yeah.
If I move
Wait,
you a
hold on.
little
It
bit
says
closer.
this token references an actor which no longer exists in this world.
That's
when I
weird.
clicked on Valerian.
Yeah,
Is that
okay,
his
that's
old
the same.
sheet?
Yeah, maybe that's his old one. That's entirely possible, because this has been around for a while. So let me. Boom. Is that better?
Oh, amazing, wonderful.
That
Fantastic.
was the issue. Got it. Cool. All right. 23. Mixture. Some of the severed arms have been sliced off via a blade. Some of them look to have been chewed off.
Oh god.
Like with like smaller teeth.
With, like,
or-
Humanoid medium-sized teeth. And a note, one of the arms that was gnawed off does not appear to be human. It appears to be of a different subrace of humanoid.
but they're like medium-sized limbs.
Medium-sized, there is red scales on the arm.
Oh, gee.
Is it safe for us to advance forward with Altaic, or does he want us to stay back?
I think Altaic will like say that it's clear, from his magical detection, but that he's seeing evidence of like recent, like feedings upon humanoids, even ones with perhaps draconic heritage.
Mm. I'll slink forward.
Okay.
Toad, you hanging back?
I'm trying to decide if I want to stay an owl or if I want to lose my wild shape.
Ah.
Um,
So you're just like clacking around on talons right now.
yeah, I think Toad will stay an owl.
That's fine. You can put the token on the map if you'd like.
I got you.
Okay. Rick, as you get closer, as you have a little bit more experience with this subrace, you recognize the appendage, the red appendage, to be of a subrace of Dragonborn. So Dragonborn are a race that are native to Eberron, albeit more commonly found in Kubara, in the southeast region, so very much far away from Ondair, but they are a small population of native residents to Eberron and Corvair, the continent proper.
And we've met the Dragonborn on the little space station.
That's right.
You have, yes, you have.
But these are red Dragonborn, is what I'm getting. the
These are
impression
red
of.
Dragonborn, correct.
I don't think any of the Dragonborn on the space station were red.
They
I
were
think
not.
it's too much-
They were not. They seem to be of a different subspecies, perhaps gem or metallic. These
Yeah.
are more chromatic in nature.
Are these body parts old, new, recent?
Make me a medicine check.
Yeah, let me just determine how long ago they've been eating people over here. I'll take that.
Okay. So, the gnawed off arms, one being dragonborn, one being, it's now, on further inspection, it appears that they're also dragonborn, but they appear to be less scaled than the hand. You see less amounts of scales. Those are newer. If you were to date it, perhaps a week or two of decomposition.
Ugh.
The ones that have been severed off with blades, the decomposition is much stronger. Months. But the cuts appear to be newer than the decomposition, which would be indicative of, with your 23, which would be indicative of injuries sustained on an undead creature.
Okay, gross. I don't know that. So like, could be a combination of things. They might be eating some of these people, but they also might just be cutting off limbs to use with necromantic sort of intentions.
Ugh.
Like stitching together body parts and whatnot. Pretty gross.
Yuck. Is there anything interesting about the ceiling? Total fly up.
You can fly up. In this room, the ceiling goes up to 30 feet. In this larger room, the ceiling goes up to 30 feet. There are some cracks in the ceiling. Old cracks, indicative of perhaps damage to the facilities above during the time of whatever assumed battle occurred in this settlement. But nothing that would concern you as to an immediate cave-in. But if you started shooting some fireballs up there, probably have some problems.
Don't throw any fireballs up here.
No, and it's just like, who, me? Yeah.
I know you were thinking about doing it, but don't do it.
Huh. This feels like some sort of strange reverse psychology. Huh. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. And it's like, no, cave in to escape. Gotcha.
Oh, go ahead.
I don't know. This place seemed to. I don't know if this is where the deaths occurred, or if this is just where the feeding happened. And this seems to be like a central chamber. What are we looking for? Where would Battle Claw be? Except, and then I'll take points down.
Yeah, what is this device in the center?
It appears to be part of an old structure that used to pipe in lava. So it appears to be a decorative structure that has long since dried up. No lava flows into this area anymore. There appears to be gears and mechanisms that, if there was lava inside of this, it may have created some sort of visual display.
Well, this place is definitely abandoned. I guess we gotta make a decision. West, east, or north?
If the lava flowed... Sorry, go ahead, Valerian.
While you're talking, actually, I don't think Valerian is... I'm just walking through the room a little bit. I'm just going to use my tremor sense, if I can. It's 20 feet.
Okay.
But I'm going to try to have it help inform where we should go.
Like you're going to stand near doors?
Right.
Okay.
Even from below us as well, to see if
Okay.
there's more activity and
You
more
don't
people
sense via your tremor sense. You sense you sense canals underneath you, like old pipes running underneath you, but nothing of like a floor down underneath you specifically. When you stand close to the west side door, you do feel you feel a tremor sense of shuffling feet on stone. And it's kind of moving around, kind of moving closer to the door.
hide.
Oh, okay. Rick will hide.
Light,
Next to
light,
the hallway.
light.
I'll turn off. I'll take light.
Okay. You can just disable the effect on your.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
you do it. I'll take.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna run back into the hallway.
Okay. All right. Everybody, make me a stealth check.
It's gonna go so well, you guys.
Okay.
Mine shouldn't roll at disadvantage because I do not have my armor equipped.
Okay. All right. It should not roll a disadvantage. So, correct? Okay. Got it.
Right.
Rick, as you're stepping back into the hallway, you trip down the stairs, and your armor makes a loud bang. And Valerian, as you're closest to the door, you hear shuffling, and you feel the shuffling feet, and then you hear and feel a fist and arm banging against the door slowly. Boom. Boom. And then there's like a scratching of a hand. Like something's trying to get through the door. But it can't.
Mediums? Like, does it sound like a giant's fist trying to, like, making a thudding noise against the metal?
Medium-sized creature.
I don't know where this battle claw is supposed to be, but the dead or something that, has been feeding on creatures like us seems to be coming out.
Another set of hands starts also banging on the door.
Does it seem like they are like does it seem like the door is like not locked, it's not barricaded, they just don't know how to open it, or they're not opening it, as in like they're brainless?
The door appears barricaded, but not in the sense of like locked with a lock. It appears as if the door is being held shut by just reinforcing and like tying the door handles together. And it doesn't appear to have a like keyhole, if you will.
Does it look like they're breaking the little barricaded, like the barricade setup?
Not in any sense of speed. Like, it would take whatever's trying to break down the door a significant amount of time.
Okay. Okay, well, I think that might be the closest to any. I mean, I'll look at the other doors to see, but...
Okay. 20 feet past those doors, you don't get any senses of movement.
Can I start making my way very slowly up to the north?
Sure.
Do the same thing?
Yep, you're not getting anything. You checked that one, and I'm assuming you want to check the east one. No movement on either one of those.
And they're all three barricaded, right?
No, only the west one is barricaded.
Only that one.
You guys can't see. As indicated, there's locks on these ones, but yeah, only this one is barricaded off. The rest seem like you could just push them open.
Okay. Well, I'll go back to everybody else. Well, it sounds like most likely our suspicions of undead are through the other door, but I say we don't try to pick a fight yet. We go through the east, maybe? I didn't sense anything through either of those doors, though.
Now stay on our toes.
Rick, are you casting light on Altaik again?
Climb back up the stairs.
Rick, are you okay?
Yeah. You guys gotta be quiet.
Nope.
I'll cast light on him, yeah. You gotta...
Got it.
Alright, to the east. Alright, here we go.
Okay. So, can you see all the way down that hallway?
Yes.
Okay. So, I'll describe to you what's occurring. Pause it for interest here. What you see... Do you have dark vision?
I do.
Okay. Then Toad will be able to see bare minimum, and they can describe to the rest of you. What you see is a giant hauling corpses and seemingly tossing them into an area to the south, seemingly assisted by what appears to be Dragonborn dressed in plate armor, carrying weapons. At least 2 of them. At this moment, no one is spotted. But if you wish to sit and observe, you are a glowing bastion of light right now. So I need a quick 5-second... I'm going to give you 10 seconds to decide if you're moving out of the way or going in.
He's gonna move out of the way.
I'll turn off your light if that's what you want.
Alright. So make a quick jump out of the way. They don't appear to notice you. But if the light is off now, you can't see exactly where they are. Except for Toad. Oh, that's why I did that. That's why it's like that. Okay, hold on. I need to disable global illumination.
Ah, there we go. Now I can't see anything.
Yeah.
There we go.
Toad, can you still see in this form?
I can't. No, but I think that's just because they're out of range. I only have 120 feet.
Hold
in my
on.
dark
I think
vision.
hold on. I think actually, no. You had basic vision enabled on the giant owl. You should be able to see a little bit clearer now.
Yeah, I can see the like hallway.
Yeah.
Kind of, but I can't see any of the people.
Gotcha.
It's just I think I only have 120 feet of dark
which makes
vision.
sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So yeah, you can see.
So I can't see them anymore.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. So what are y'all doing?
Yeah, what are we doing?
Did we catch any distinguishing features? We don't know what it's for, do we? So this is the crossroads where I think that, at any step further is inviting, perhaps, combat. Did we catch anything identifying about the giant that we can report?
Was there anything identifying about him, Chris?
He's a fire giant. You only had a short second to view him. He appeared to be of one of the, I guess, best way to put this is like the more common variant. Still wearing armor. Still wearing his plate armor, which is very common for many of the fire giants to have. Still wielding a massive greatsword on his back. But you don't recognize this individual giant.
Could I tell what kind of corpses they were hauling?
They were humanoid in nature. They were medium-sized humanoid. That's what you can get from your quick peek. They were not giant corpses.
Where are they? Okay, correct me if I'm like when we're walking around town, it's mostly giants, right?
Yeah, it is like 99.
Right.
It is like 85% giants, 15% like 14% autonomes, and then y'all and the Braylish when they were there, and the gift.
So basically, the only humanoids on this planet that we've seen so far are people from off the moon, right? From other places. Where the hell are they getting all these bodies from? Hey, can we shut the door, by the way? Anyway, we can do that silently without alerting them.
Yeah, make me whoever's closing the door, just make me a quick stealth check.
I'm not gonna do it. I just fell down the stairs. I don't want to do it.
I don't have opposable thumbs.
I got it.
Slam.
Every he's trying to pull a. I don't even know what the answer is, but all I'm imagining is just rusting, just screeching.
Gong. Okay, so 2 out of 3 bad places to go. Let's go to the north.
Yeah.
Anything stopping us from opening that door?
No.
Oh, they're having a party. Oh, it's just a joke.
Oh, now it's definitely too dark for me to see. I'm gonna put on.
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna light myself up.
All right.
It's a lot easier for me to turn it off if I need to. Oh, did I not target myself? Is that why I didn't do it? Here we go.
There you go.
There we go.
That's handy.
Oh, okay. I fixed my token. I can see now.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Yeah, y'all can open up the door if you want.
I'm standing off to the side.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You look down the hallway. You see what you see. Appears to
Is
be.
that a torch? Is it? Like, it seems like it's more well lit. Down
Yeah, yeah. There are some lit torches right here. Pay no attention to the slight off-centering of the light source itself.
Fine.
So, as you look down, it appears to be up here. Appears to be a raised area to go across, and then right here and right here look to be sloped platforms to get up there, and then you can go underneath this like pseudo bridge.
Well, if we have light, I'm gonna turn off my light spell.
There is patchy light here.
I will.
this-
Oh, go ahead.
Is this some kind of like grate or
It is
like in the middle?
what you can, and you're flying up a little bit higher, so you would be able to see it.
Mm-hmm.
It appears to be like tracks for some sort of cart.
Okay.
And then underneath is like a tunnel to go underneath the cart track. You could continue on north above that, or it looks like if you went up these platforms, you could go follow it to the left or to the right.
I could try to fly in a little bit and see a little further.
And owls do fly silently.
I am pretty stealthy. I am a very big owl, but I'm pretty stealthy.
Yeah. Okay, if you
We
wish
do
to,
have a distress call. Just keep that in mind.
That's true.
go ahead and make me that stealth check then.
Okay, I will fly like 50 feet in.
That's fine. And I'll say that the ceiling here goes up to 30 feet in this chamber because it's kind of a raised platform. So this area kind of goes up 10 feet, and then underneath it you have about a 10-foot tunnel underneath the bottom there. So if you fly to the top there, you can do so, and you see that there's 3 ways here. You can go to the left, to the right, and you do see a minecart to the left of you with a strange cord. The best way I can put it.
Oh. Can I look a little closer
Mhm.
at it?
Yeah, absolutely. What would you like to use to look and inspect it further?
I'll use my sharp owl eyes.
Okay. So perception. Go ahead and roll with that.
With advantage.
Mhm. Okay. With your 25, this
Huge.
appears to be the body proportions are all off. This appears to be, at your best guess, a medium-sized creature that was forced to try to grow to a larger size, and it failed. So its torso remains humanoid size. However, its bottom half appears to have attempted to grow larger and the intestines in the bucket are much too large for the inside of the torso of this creature.
Ew.
So some sort of intent to grow a humanoid, some sort of skeletal remains of a humanoid. What subrace of human or other creature is really hard to tell at this juncture of decay and destroy. This looks like a failed experiment. The best way I can explain it to you.
Okay.
And with your 25, you hear footsteps further down this tunnel to the west.
What do they sound large?
They sound medium, and they sound like they're coming this way.
Okay, Toad will fly away.
Okay. As you do that, the rest of you notice one of the doors to the east begin to slowly open.
Oh.
And there's a loud thud as the door that was stuck, that you had to push closed a little bit too loud, is trying to be forced open by something. So there's something coming from the north, something coming from the east. What are you doing?
Let's get out.
Well, I'm right by the
You
doors
flee?
still. Let's close the doors.
You flee?
Yeah.
Yeah, can we close? Yeah, close these doors.
Okay, and you flee the lair entirely because the other door is opening to the east. Okay.
Is that what we're doing?
Oh.
Yeah, the question is entirely, do we want to see something, see what was behind those doors before we leave?
There were some more doors in the next room
Yeah,
too.
you have
north of
about
us.
6 seconds before the door to the east opens.
Alright, if we want to see stuff, my pitch is that we get behind these doors, we
Yeah.
see what's coming, and then close them.
Okay. That's the plan, because it's happening right now. Okay.
Okay.
The door opens, and one of the Dragonborn is stepping into the room. Are you hiding? As he steps in, are you closing the doors?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Close the doors. Okay. Footsteps begin to approach at a more rapid pace. Are you confronting this creature that's heading your way as it heard the doors close?
Oh no.
So I can't see anybody else. Is that the way it is with
Yeah,
everybody?
you're in pitch black.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think we can maybe take this guy, but
Okay. Yeah, actually, can I'm gonna try to communicate with Tremor Sense. I'm gonna get close to the door. I'm gonna
Okay.
try to communicate with my team how, like, as soon as he's gonna open the door, if we can jump him.
Okay.
Surprise him, really.
I need you to roll me a perception check to see how well this goes.
Probably not great.
Okay.
But we out here.
Okay. You time the opening of the door just before he reaches it. And he is on guard. And he is standing there, one weapon in one hand beginning to outreach. He is not surprised.
Oh,
Is your intent to attack this creature, this Dragonborn?
I'm gonna look to Altair for a second.
Yeah, I think so. I think that was a.
Okay. We get him.
Okay, alright, he's not surprised, so I'm going to add you all to combat. Alright.
oh, I had a toad roll.
Toaded it.
You toted it.
Okay.
You totally toted it.
No, I toaded it.
I'll
Guys,
take it.
we got this is the worst. This is the worst surprise.
Happy birthday!
Okay. Valerian and Altaic, you have just enough of a jump to go before him in the turn order. This Dragonborn in plate armor wielding a long sword in one hand, is looking at you with hostile intent, I guess is the best way to put it.
Okay. I will. With my. Actually, I don't have armor on.
Okay.
So, and I'm not summoning my armor. Actually, I'm just
Okay.
taking out
So
my sword.
Let's do this. You can, whenever you're not wearing your armor, unequip it on your sheet.
Okay.
And that should account for your AC being 10, and that should remove the stealth penalty check. So, but just remember, just about all of you are exhausted. That may not apply on the Toad Giant Owl sheet, but I believe if we looked it up, we just looked it up earlier. That is
I'm still exhausted. Yeah.
I think it's a -2 for everyone. -2 to any D20 rolls, if I recall correctly. So, okay, all right, let's go ahead and get started.
Don't kill him.
What?
Don't kill him. Keep him. Take him alive.
Okay. Well, I move 5 feet there. I'll move 10, 15.
Okay.
20, 30. Get on this side.
Okay.
And I will start striking at him without the intent.
Non-lethal. Okay, understood.
Non-lethal.
Roll the hit.
Oh, however, with my bonus action, I will light up my sword
Okay.
and take 2 swipes.
21.
I did not target him.
Did not target. Just roll again. If it hits, it's fine. Okay, well, just roll a third attack so we can do the automated damage, because it's easier for everyone.
Sorry. Why is it not?
So that... A strike hit.
Okay, maybe I'm probably tripping. Hold on 1 second. Let me do it again. Okay, there it is. There it is. Amazing.
Okay, so
Why
that's
is
it.
it? The damage is here.
Damn. Oh, because remember,
There
it
it is.
props... Yeah, okay, so the first strike,
Yep.
you hit with a 23, you managed to... Okay, alright, you managed to cut up some of his body, but you're attempting to preserve his life. So go ahead and that other 22 hit, just roll one more time to see if it hits. Just roll until you get a hit. Nope.
Nope. That's a 3.
That's not it.
That's an 11.
Nope.
Hey.
There we go.
There you go. Okay. Alright, so you managed to
Okay.
bruise him up pretty well. He is bloodied. You do anything else on your turn?
That is my turn.
Okay. He is going to, on his bloodied action, turn and attempt to slash at you with his longsword. That is a 16 to hit you, which right now
The 16 will hit.
16 will hit you. So that is 5 slashing damage. That is his bloody turn. So next we have Altair.
Is that a clean sword? Was it cleaned before he ended up getting swearing, or was that a recently used bit of butchering material?
You're looking at the long sword. It appears to be relatively clean, actually.
Oh, good. They have a separation of tools. Perfect. He will, on the intent of like capturing them, cast a hold person.
Okay.
So let's see if this is done automatically. Nope, not close the door. Oh no, I can't unclose the door because it's too dark. But I have that targeted. Cast hold person. I'll no longer be casting detect magic.
Okay. It appears that he failed his save. It's not popping up in the
Gotcha.
chat, but based on the
Okay, I'll
effects
post this.
applied. So he is... What? He is incapacitated? What effects? Incapacitated, paralyzed. Okay.
Gotcha. And for his bonus action, I don't use this very often, but he will use his telekinetic bonus action. Let's shove it. Let's post this in chat. It must succeed on a strength saving throw, DC plus. So DC.
It automatically fails strength and dex save throws because it's
Perfect.
paralyzed.
So awesome. So I want to knock him.
Prone.
Essentially. essentially knock him. Do we want to just bring him closer to us, or? Yeah. Well, he's prone, and I guess with the object, he'll actually open the other door if we want to get this guy.
That's
in.
fine.
So.
Okay.
All right. Perfect. All right. That's his turn.
Okay.
And turn.
Well, we're quintessentially out of combat now, so you have effectively. How long does hold person last? Let me look.
It lasts for 1 minute.
Okay. Alright. It's gonna try to repeat the save, but you have. I'll call it 1 round here.
Okay.
So I'm just moving the rounds for tracking purposes. You have a moment here to do whatever you want.
Val, check if he's got a little thing in his brain.
I hate doing it. Okay.
Do it.
Put my hand on his head, and I will check his brain.
Perception check.
I would like to listen at the northern doors to see if the footsteps are getting closer.
Okay. You make me a perception check too, Toad. You have a -4 to your wisdom perception checks?
I have a -2, and then a -2 from exhaustion.
Okay. All right. Got it. Understood.
I will
brutal.
take as long as I can.
That's fine. It's
Trying
not
to.
necessary. There is no apparent sign of intellect devourer in the mind of this dragonborn.
Okay.
Hey, you're not slug person.
Toad, the feet movement is that's not counting for. Okay. The feet movement does not seem to be coming this direction, but you hear it to the north.
Okay. What about to the east?
Okay,
Okay.
I'll allow the same roll. You hear the giant stomping far off into the distance, but it doesn't seem to be coming closer. Those are the only footsteps you can hear from this distance at this moment.
I think we're okay right now. No one else is coming.
All right. Maybe we need to knock this guy out and carry him out of here, huh?
Yeah, I can hold him for a while, but not forever.
Yep. He can't
If you
move
attack
or
someone in
speak.
hold person, yeah, if you attack someone in hold person, does it break the hold person?
No, but they no.
All right, Val,
Okay,
whack him up the
knock him out.
backside of the head.
Yep.
I'll claw at him too. I'll help.
Not gonna knock him out.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you guys get like auto crits from.
Yeah, I mean, I will. Considering that you're doing non-lethal, no rolls
Knock him
required. Yeah, I mean, it's easy enough to knock him out to unconscious. So do
Gotcha.
that. Unconscious
that.
but stable. Okay.
Let's carry him out of here.
Yeah.
I'll carry him
You may
in my
do
little
so.
claws.
Mhm.
like you're making off with a meal.
I've never had dragon form before.
I guess I'll have to truss him up. For when the hold person runs out.
Okay.
Oh yeah, get your rope out, Valerian. Let's tie this guy up.
Oh yes, yeah. I will use my rope of entanglement.
Okay. Post it for me.
I
I could
What?
just.
You just try to entangle me?
guess so.
It's fine. I can
Valerian, no!
read it. I can read. You entangle.
Oh, dang.
They're
Okay, sorry.
restrained. Okay. Yeah, I mean you can restrain him right now. So okay. All right, that's fine. Can't
Valerian just
move.
blinked out of existence for me. I don't know.
Valerian's
Valerian
gone,
did
yeah.
blink out of existence.
Did you
He
delete
entangled
Valerian?
himself into the third dimension.
Is-
Okay, there I am.
Okay, there you are. Okay.
No, I'm restrained.
Oh my god, Valerian, stop tying him!
Valerian!
Stop tying him 2 toes. Just tie him up. Tie him up.
Sorry.
Tie Toto.
I was just testing. I was testing it.
That's a
Wait,
mess.
so on what? Why is it keep going?
Oh
Okay,
my
I'm not
god.
pressing it anymore.
Yeah, leave it
Boundary
be.
hates me.
It's fine. This map is a little makes everything a little laggy. It's okay. It's probably not your
All right.
fault.
Then let's get out of this map by carrying this guy
Yes.
out of the place.
Okay. Understood. Okay. You carry this guy to where?
Right outside the facility, I do believe.
Okay, that's fine. I'll just leave us on this map for now, understanding that you.
Okay.
Oh. Oops.
The walls are weird here. The walls are weird here. Okay. Okay.
Caca, Valerian, quit!
Okay. All right. You now have a prisoner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's investigate.
What if he's a
Punch
nice
him again?
guy? We just started hitting him.
Probably just
Would a
here to
nice,
welcome
would a nice
us.
guy be? I mean, maybe he was here to liberate all those corpses. It's kind of
We don't know what their culture is here.
I don't want to be a part of a culture killing people and eating them. Though I guess they could
Doesn't
just
sound great.
it could just be like a funerary procession, I suppose. But regardless, let's ask him. Let's try to wake him up. Do I need to heal him to wake him up?
He is on 1 hit point. He's unconscious. I would say just give me a medicine check.
Okay. Slap him around, medically speaking.
Some smelling
Yeah.
salts, maybe?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Okay. He is back to consciousness. Still. Okay. He is no longer conscious, but he is restrained. Correct?
He is.
Okay. He opens his eyes, and then they widen, and then they narrow. Who's looking at him? What are you? I mean, what are y'all doing? Are y'all gathered
just
around
lined
him?
up? Yeah.
Yeah,
We have a
Valerian's
giant-
above
we have a-
him with the
We have a
big
giant
ass
owl.
sword. Giant owl, yeah.
Who says, "Hey, buddy, sorry about hitting you. I don't know if we're supposed to be friends, but my name's Toad. I know that might be confusing because I'm an owl, but
Not always an owl.
that's true. Thank you. This is my friend Rick, Celtic and Valerian. And
Hi.
Okay. I need all of you to make me a dexterity saving throw as fire erupts from his mouth.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing they can do, huh?
Good thing we got that fire resistance ring. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a good point, actually. Well,
Would there be time for me to, like, close his mouth in
No.
response?
No.
wow, we're just all getting roasted a little bit.
Big
Hey, good thing we have the fire resistance ring.
I'll take you two.
Oh, I thought I posted a dexterity save.
Yeah, I see it. I see it.
Oh, never mind. Oh, I just yeah. So you all fail.
Yeah.
Nailed
You got
it.
us. You got us. All right.
Yeah, no,
Hey,
you
you know
got
what?
it.
Fair. Fair, buddy.
Fair.
we should have known.
How much damage
Yeah.
we taken?
I'm
Before we say
telling-
that, how much damage we taken?
You all take half of 31 fire damage.
Oh my.
So
Jeez.
yeah, so 15 rounded down 15.
Okay, no big deal.
Very good.
Oh, giant owl toad is looking
Giant Owl
rough.
Toad has 19 hit points. Ow!
All right,
Wait.
wait. How often can you do that? Can you do that forever?
No,
What
he's
do I
not
know-
doing
what do I know
it.
about
It's a
Dragonborn?
it's a quick burst, and he doesn't look like he can immediately do it again.
Gotcha.
It's not
Can I-
something he
can I
can
do,
do
like-
constantly.
Can I like recall knowledge? I know that's a Pathfinder thing. How to
Owl out.
How,
Yeah.
How? Yeah. I just wanna know how often can you do that kind of thing?
Give me a history check.
History. Gotcha. I'm not actually that good at history, weirdly enough, but
Ooh.
You rolled well, and you have seen this on the battlefield before.
okay.
Mechanically, it's on a recharge. It's basically recharge or short rest. So it could be it could be a stronger dragonborn that recovers it very quickly, or it could be something that, because you don't know this creature, you don't know how quickly it can be done. But mechanically, it's a I roll every round to see if he gets his breath weapon back. Just like standard dragons.
I'm gonna take out regular. Actually, I'm just gonna hold his mouth shut.
Okay.
His snout shut.
Give me a strength check. And he's gonna go against you.
Man.
Well, okay, you can add athletics or acrobatics to that. So just tell me what the bonus is.
Bonus would be a +3, so
Okay,
14 to
so
that.
14? Okay, alright, he's gonna roll now.
But -2 because your exhaustion, right?
Yeah,
I think
he's
this
already
is
got it on.
calculating it.
Yeah, it's calculating
Okay.
exhaustion. He rolled a 12, so you're lucky.
Nice.
Okay, so you managed to grapple his snout closed.
Okay, better idea. Why don't we just all get behind him?
Actually, a great idea. Yeah.
Hold it. You keep holding his mouth shut, but the rest of us are gonna go stand behind him, and let's all let's pick him up, hold him by the shoulders, and just hold him away from us so he can't breathe on us. You know?
Total grab his shoulders
Okay.
with their claws.
Okay.
I can pick him up. I can do that.
Oh wait,
Okay.
actually, just put him face down on the ground.
Like
Oh,
like wrestling a crocodile.
Yeah.
Like shove him into the ground. That seems mean.
I'm
He
sorry,
just
but
tried to kill us.
I'm crispy right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Alright.
I think what we're gonna do is like put him, belly down on the ground, so it's harder for him to aim his breath weapon, basically.
Okay. Belly down.
We're all
You're holding his
Yeah.
snout closed. Okay.
listen.
okay.
We are here to maybe bargain for your life, so my friends, and you might get out of this. But if you do that again, your life ends here. Rick?
Yeah. What he said.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Did you have questions for him, Rick?
Oh, okay. Hey, buddy. What you doing here?
He
I'll
can't.
ease up just a little bit.
Okay. You attempt to ease up. Make me, I guess, an intimidation check, Val.
I can't do that.
At the same time, could Altair start spinning up detect thoughts?
Yes, you may.
Cool.
Toad will just keep watch.
Okay. Understood.
Those
Roll me a perception check with advantage. Okay. Understood. So let's do the Dragonborn speaking first. Oh, let's do the. What just happened? Arthur's outside. Is it bedtime?
Uh-oh.
Is he coming to say goodnight or no? Okay, he started crying as the door opened.
Oh.
I think he's got it. I think he's been acting up a lot.
What?
Arthur's perfect, actually. He's never done anything wrong in his life.
Sit down.
Daddy,
Just quick.
Daddy,
Yes.
what was his daddy?
Those are our friends. You can say goodnight to them. That's it.
What's the other one?
They're all right there. You can say goodnight to them.
Mhm.
Make it quick.
Hi, Arthur.
Hi.
Are you going to bed?
Yeah.
Say goodnight.
Good night.
Good night.
Good
Bye,
night.
buddy.
Wait, what's
Give me a hug.
what's that one on the microphone?
It's the microphone and headphones. Give me a hug. You gotta go to bed
I'm
because
not
we're past
doing
bedtime.
I'm not playing with this.
I'm not doing that. No. Not doing because I don't need it. Okay. Good night, sweet boy. Over 100 degrees in this office. Okay. Right. You attempt to ask the Dragonborn what he's doing here, right? Is that what I recall?
Yeah.
Okay. So the Dragonborn begins to go into a rant. In Draconic. Does anybody speak Draconic?
I do not. However, I do have the Helm of Comprehending Languages now activated.
Okay. You pick up mid-rant about your deaths, and his life is insignificant to the master goals of the most powerful and gracious of masters. And what you get in Detect Thoughts Altaic is visual imagery of a red dragon roasting your group alive in the cleansing fire of its breath.
Is there anything distinguishing about this red dragon, like scarring, or like particular size? Like, is there like any reference in this image to suggest like they're this large or like this?
I'm gonna give you this because Alaric has seen dragons in the past. Has Altaic seen dragons? I don't think I don't think you've seen dragons since all day, but you remember the blue dragon from Zorantu, right? That's recent memory
Yes.
for Altaic and Alaric. This dragon is smaller than that.
Okay.
And you knew that dragon to be adult. So perhaps a young dragon?
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's what you get with surface thoughts.
Okay. Not as large as the ones that the Dragonhawk has seen before. You know, I don't know how this dragon, aside from infiltration, could stand against giants.
That's good to know. Hey, any I'm gonna talk to the, knowing that Altair can like read surface level thoughts. I'm gonna ask the Dragonborn on the ground. Hey, what's up with the deal with you working with the fire giants? I saw one of those in there with you.
Won't tell you a thing. Surface thoughts. You see imagery of this dragon, or this dragonborn, fighting alongside its master in a glorious war against the giants to rid them of this moon. And in
This moon?
of this moon, to rid them of this moon, and that's what you get surface thoughts.
Gotcha.
You can attempt to press in more on any of the scenarios. Just know
It's not gonna-
every major question and moment I am rolling the breath button.
Yeah. Okay, here's the deal. This guy's not gonna cooperate too much. I'll take. You got any like other things you think you can probe from him, mentally speaking?
Yes, and so I have questions about the facility, and so, like what's below? What are they doing here? You know, can you put the idea in his mind so that I could get a better sense?
Okay. I mean, I could just ask him. Hey, what's going on down in the facility? What do you got doing here?
And yes, we'll start pushing.
Yeah, go ahead and roll to push, because he is attempting to keep his mind blank, because he gets the sense that you are doing something with his mind.
Okay. So if I'm pushing against him,
He needs a roll.
the target needs to know. It makes an intelligence check against my. Oh, contested by my intelligence. Uh-oh.
You're fine. He rolled a 3.
That's so funny. Well, it's possible.
It is possible.
Here we go.
Okay. So what you get is you get a few more thoughts about what's occurring here. What's occurring here is the staging ground of Battleclaw's master plan to rid the giants without the help of the other dragons. Battleclaw is strong enough to do it on his own, and his majestic might, alongside the help of his allies, being the aberrations, are enough to accomplish the ultimate end goal of the dragons, to rid the giants of the moon in their entirety. So it appears that Battleclaw is acting of his own intuition in alliance with the aberrations to destroy the giants.
A red dragon being able to contest fire giants? This must be a lot more help then. But how does he? And then like Altaik is going to like ask. It's like just, are your allies just fire giant infiltrators?
Okay.
He's wondering if if this dragon or if this dragonborn knows of the Illithid.
Okay. At this moment, Valerian, I need you to make me another athletics check against his grapple.
Nice.
Strong boy.
You lucky son of a bitch. You feel the warmth of the fire in the throat of this creature, and you clamp it back down. He has a fire breath prepared to spit out. So he cannot answer your question, Altaic. But you can attempt to probe deeper again.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
did Toad ever hear anything coming?
No, interestingly enough, there is nothing coming outside of the facility.
Great.
Okay. Against his intelligence, he manages to resist and keep his mind blank during the question.
Okay. He's getting more used to this.
Say the word.
What word? What are we talking about here?
I think we all know.
I don't.
Seems like
Oh,
he's willing
it
to
does-
die for his cause. We oblige.
Whoa. Okay, hold on. We could just bring him back to the town with the fire giants. Show him what we, show him what we found.
Ooh,
And let them deal with it.
Is this an intimidation play as well?
Oh yeah, is this sincere from Valyrian or?
I think I'm trying to intimidate him. Sure.
You can try. Roll an intimidation check. Okay. He seems unfazed by your threats. This is a devout warrior through and through, willing to die for his cause.
Okay. Well, if you think it's best to not to let him be judged by the king, then it's fine. Take him prisoner.
Plus, they might know more about this sort of thing than we do. They didn't tell us they were the Dragonborn on this planet.
I'm sure he knows a lot that they'll get out of him.
And if not, hey, at least he's off our hands. No blood on our hands. That feels good.
That's right. That does feel good. You're right.
Hey, let's tie up his mouth. By the way,
Okay.
he has a snout, right? You can kind of tie it. You can kind of like tie it.
You
It's
can.
not like
You can.
Hey,
Maybe,
you know what? Actually, can I take a rope and then, is there any type of mechanism that I could use as a lock and then cast Arcane Lock? Like a latch almost?
You're trying to latch his mouth shut.
Well, I'm gonna tie the rope around him and then make a knot for the latch and then try to lock it so
on
with
his
Arcane
snout or on his person? Because we're basically playing
On
with
his-
two separate things here. You're grappling his body, and you're grappling his body with the rope and grappling his snout with your hands.
Yeah, so I would do his snout.
Okay. Do any of you carry anything that could be used as a lock?
I don't have any locks on me.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Artificer Owl. You guys are sorely missing an artificer on the team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, then we could just tie it up regularly.
Okay. Give me let's do a sleight of hand check on the rope around his snout. Okay. I'll give you advantage because you're taking your time.
Okay.
And I will spend an inspiration. No, tie it out tie it like this. You gotta tie it. You gotta do it like that.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
You guys can take the 10-minute rule if you want.
Okay.
Okay.
We will do that because this is not looking good.
Okay.
10 minutes of fumbling with a
10 minutes of fumbling with a rope. Okay.
Guys, I'm trying over here. It just it keeps. I keep untying it myself. It's
Toad, at the 10 minutes, you begin to hear footsteps coming. I'm assuming you guys are outside, but you hear footsteps coming up from the tunnel.
Oh,
Hurry up, hurry up.
someone's coming. Someone's coming.
okay.
Caw, they're doing the thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna put the guy on. Can I put him on the back of Phantom and then try to fly up?
You can, yes. In Phantom's claws or on the back.
I will put him in Phantom's claws. Yes.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Phantom is now carrying two medium-sized humans. So his speed is lowered by 25%. So
Phantom and I are the same size, right? As a giant owl.
yes,
So I could carry Altaik and Rick together.
you could. Yes. So yeah.
Altair will. So, okay. Well, currently the math is fine. I was going to say we can also like use like charges of the levitation, drifting cloak. How many do we have?
I'm gonna
Two
say
charges?
yeah.
No, that's
Phantom's speed is dropped to 60. Val.
Okay, that's fair.
So, Toad, if you want to match pace with Phantom, you just fly a little bit slower.
Okay.
Okay. And you
I'll take
manage.
Hill down, I guess.
Oh no. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. All right. So you now have a prisoner of one of Battleclaw's minions, assumingly, and you're heading back to the city, right?
I think that's the plan. We gotta get the hell out of here.
Okay.
Get the hell out of here.
All right. Let's go ahead and take a break. I'm going to say Toad, by the time you get there, would likely be close. You might have like 30 minutes left on your wild shape.
So I was tracking maybe we've been like an hour. It was 30 minutes of travel time.
30 minutes
and
30 minutes. Okay, 30 minutes to travel, 30 minutes in. Okay, and then it would be an
30
hour
minutes to travel.
Well, it would be an hour to fly all the way back to. So you've only used 2 hours. So actually, you're
Okay, so
fine.
I got 2 hours left.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Okay. All right, you guys want to take a break now? Then 10 minutes.
Yeah,
that's
do it.
good.
Okay, back at 35.
All right.
All right. You are attempting to fly away from this area back to the city. Okay. Takes you about an hour, and you make it back to the city with your Dragonborn in tow. Let me make a couple quick checks. Yeah, so I made 3 checks, and with the 10-minute rule, I gave you an 18. On one of those checks, the Dragonborn rolled a 24. So I'm gonna say it can only target what is in its grasp. So that would be Phantom and Valyrian.
Okay.
You might need to. Let me just. Let me pull you back to. Let me pull you back to the dock. You can have access, and it's a little bit less buggy. The Dragonborn right here. So have you and Phantom go ahead and roll me dex saves, please.
Yes. There is something with my feet, however, I'm trying to find.
Mm-hmm. Talking about mounted combatant?
Yeah, I can't find my oh, there it is, sorry.
Or is it?
You
Check
can
it out.
list it in chat quick.
Yeah. What do we got here? That something mitigating? Enforce an attack targeted at your mounted target view.
I think the one that makes that
Okay.
matters
Yep.
is
It's basically gives it evasion.
Yep, exactly, yep.
Okay. Got it. So still
okay,
needs
so
a roll.
Yep. I will Valerian. Not good
Terrible.
at all.
Awesome.
And for Phantom, not good.
The DC is 15, so that is a fail unless you like to use it yours or somebody else's inspiration.
Nope. I think we'll just leave it as is.
Okay. Rolled 19, so halved. Well, no, not halved. You take the full 19 if you fail. But you have resistance with the ring, right?
Mhm.
So you
Yep,
would
and
take
so-
half damage.
Yeah.
Um,
And so does Phantom because of the mounted combatant.
yes. So basically, you both take half of 19, which is 8? 9. You both take 9
Nine
fire
damage.
damage. 9. But I'll say is after that you're able to restrain him to the point where he can't break his snout free.
Slightly singed feathers on Phantom.
Slightly singed feathers on Phantom.
Okay.
I brought you back to your ship, but you don't have to go back to your ship with the Dragonborn if
Yeah.
you don't want to.
No. I think we're going straight to the king.
That's
Okay.
right.
Okay.
It's been some time. Is it still the daytime or is it nighttime?
Yeah, so it's been about 2 hours of travel in this moment. So I would say we're getting into the evening times based on all your back and forth travels. So yeah, I'm gonna say
Makes sense.
it's about dinner time. So the four of you turn, these creatures are not here. None of these folks are here. These two. Yeah. Okay. All right. You are still, unfortunately, relinquished of your weapons.
Man, all right.
It's just a standing policy in this room.
Okay.
You also relieve the Dragonborn of his weaponry.
Oh, for sure.
He had
100%.
a long sword, a short sword, and a heavy crossbow.
Oh,
He was also wearing plate armor. You can leave that on him or take it off.
I don't want him to be naked. I mean,
It's not wearing. I mean,
Is
he's wearing rags
is his sword
underneath.
just like a normal ass long sword? Normal ass short sword?
Yeah, they're not enchanted or anything like that. They're
Okay.
normal, basic quality of build.
Gotcha. Basic.
Okay. All right. So, what's your intent here? Bringing
Let's
him in?
present the prisoner to the king and tell him what we learned. That's my intent. I don't know how the rest of the group feels.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, let's all try to move our tokens at the same pace, okay?
Okay.
The same exact page.
All right, ready? 3. Okay, and then Valerian immediately.
Oh, you're talking about in the, okay, I thought
Yeah, and we're staying in the square, okay?
and I didn't
3,
get it.
2, and then we're gonna take it step, right? Ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go. Step. Yes! Yes! It's working! It's working! Oh yeah.
The final level of D&D, moving out of BTT.
Oh, and then Valerian. Oh my
You're
god.
Valerian, yeah, just starts racing everybody.
It's your competitive nature. Okay.
Right.
Who have you brought to me?
We don't know his name, but this is a dragon fellow we found in an abandoned foundry, along with a bunch of bodies and seems like mind-controlled fire giants. Anyway, he's a acolyte of old Battle Claws, so maybe you guys want to interrogate him on your own. We couldn't get much info out of him, but what we did was, it's not great. Tell him, Althaic.
Well, within the foundry, we found evidence of feasting on other humanoids, some of them bearing the scalings of other Dragonborn. But once we apprehended this guard, this fella, he presented us with information regarding Battle Claw and their plans to raise an army without the aid of the other dragons to defeat the fire giants.
He begins to stand up and walk over to the Dragonborn in question. And he says quietly, but very threateningly as he leans over, "Who made you?" His snout is still restrained. Is it locked or is it just roped up?
It's roped up.
He takes the rope in his massive hand and rips it off. To which
Oh, my rope!
the Dragonborn immediately attempts to douse King Zundor in a fire breath that seems to just glance right off of him.
Oh no.
Oh, come on, buddy. Come on, it's a fire giant. I'm gonna
He
step away
leans in
from the
closer.
dragon board.
Who made you answer, minion? He seems unintimidated and immediately turns around and, while restrained, tries to like jump with his legs. Like he tries to run towards the edge of these platforms. Like he tries to run this way, and like some anime style King Zundor, without even looking backwards, like snatches his head and drags him back in front of him.
Yeah, good luck.
How were you made, sure? Your kind was not to have seen on this moon for millennia.
Ooh.
He turns to the four of you, and Toad hiding behind Duke Zalto.
Yep.
How many of these creatures, and he picks up by the head, how many of these creatures were present in this foundry? Did there seem to be many of them?
We saw a couple of them. Toad peeks out from behind Duke Zalto.
This is most concerning. Hawk, take him to the jails. Chucks him and gets caught by Hawk. Like, he's like a small plaything they're chucking around. Yes, my king. And he will take him and they will walk out. Commander Hawk is also holding him by the head. And like occasionally you'll see like down the hallway bursts of fire that seem to have no effect on any of these fire giants as he departs. The king goes back down to his chair and sits and puts his head in his hands. This is disconcerting news that the dragons have gained the ability to create their lessers again. Duke Zalto, when was the last time we saw one was in the records? Yeah, give or take 1,000, maybe 4,000 years ago, King.
Oh,
Thank you. If the red dragons have somehow recreated the technology for their minion armies, there is some level of concern that I have as to their quiet nature for the past several hundred years. It is likely that they are working to recreate their forces of old. I wish we knew
King
more.
Zondir, what other kind of creatures live on this moon? Is it just the fire giants, or are
Normally,
these?
over a millennia, different species have come and gone. This is a harsh environment for many. But what remains is always the fire giants and the red dragons. There are several creatures that find themselves comfortable in the elemental plane of fire that also seem to have thrived here, that may have made their way to this moon during our pilgrimage to this moon many millennia ago. I know that there's still snakes in the lava, Duke. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Lava snakes?
Yes. No matter to us, but likely of some concern to you. Likely less than the lava itself on your bodies, but I would be cautious. There are all nature of beasts and creatures that have found themselves attuned to this land that may call it home. However, as we mostly operate in our cities, they do not gravitate towards our sources of heat and find their way more towards natural sources of heat, such as volcanoes and the like. But this is concerning to me as the Red Dragons had previously assaulted our settlements. The foundry that you found yourselves at was previously besieged by and lost by the giants due to the overwhelming number of Dragonborn that the Red Dragons were able to leverage in their fight. Quantity is a quality all on its own, you see. I do not wish to trouble you with further issues of state that I need to discuss with my council more. I believe there is a boon in order, unless there is more that you wish to do for our people. I cannot ask you to eliminate the threat, as this seems to be a much larger threat, but I don't know. Would you care to join in the fight against Battleclaw? I mean, we will be hiring mercenaries on a larger scale in the days to come, in the weeks to come. I imagine that we will likely need to strike the Red Dragons before they're able to build up larger forces.
I think with all the, given the trial, the fair trial you gave us, and the deals that we've made with some of your residents, speak for myself, but I would love to accompany you in battle.
Here's my concern. I wish to send a team into this derelict foundry. However, with my Forge Master out, I am unable to ascertain the nature of any sort of corruption to my people. Something...
Yeah, they did have sorry, I just want to say, they seem to have some brainwashed guys in there, and it might just be the aberrants, or it could have been something else.
It's possible they have conscripted more via these means that you have exposed to us. Would you be able to... Go ahead?
There was some kind of undead presence there as well, was there not?
Oh, yeah, well, there's necromancy all over the place. You saw a freaky thing, didn't you?
Yeah, like a weird experiment on some kind of medium-sized humanoid. Like it was forced to grow quickly to a size not normal for it. It was kind of horrific.
Experimentations on their underlings is a known strategy that they have done in the history of the ancient wars. It concerns me that they've discovered this power again. I wonder where they learned such manipulation techniques. No matter. We will stomp it out quickly enough, Duke Zalto. Mobilize a task force. I will, at the barest of minimums, ask that you help me determine that my task force does not have any sort of the same corruption that has taken two of my flock. Can you do such?
I can do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I can do that as often as you need.
We will make plans for movement in the morning. You are welcome to accompany our strike force on this layer. This moment
When do you think you'll attack?
In the morning, once we can prepare our small crew. Duke, I leave it to you to designate the proper authorities and forces. I imagine a small squad will suffice if it is the foundry that I am thinking of. It can't be that large. Handful. It will be done, King. We will mobilize first light. Very well. Should you wish to accompany my strike force, they will leave in the morning. Now would be more generous in my boons granted to you and your nation if you should participate in this venture.
The sort of boons being extended, is there like So the ring of fire resistance, would be, is reasonable for the task already done. Is something like in belt of fire strength something we can push? Fire giant strength something we can
Are
push?
you asking
the-
him? So
part of this is like I don't want to push our
Yeah.
luck, so I'm just like, because I know that the belt of fire giant strength, like 25 strength for an attuned thing is like pretty nasty.
I'm gonna let Valerian's history answer this, as someone who knows noble boons. Val, you would understand this. It is appropriate to ask for either favorable terms on a negotiated trade deal of something of this nature, or be it material boons, as in perhaps it would not be inappropriate to ask for an item created by his nation for each of you of the highest rarity, which you have seen
wow.
up to tier 3.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'll just look to everybody and say, they could provide very, very nice things.
On top of that, there's always the gift of gold, monetary, right? That is not inappropriate, and you would receive something comparative to your assistance provided in this strike on this layer. So, you don't have to ask for it now. It's typically done upon completion, but that's just kind of there's your lefts and rights of what's appropriate to ask a king when he grants you a boon.
Okay.
Any other questions or topics of discussion with King Zindor or Duke Zalto?
I got
What would did we already cover like what would be the nature of our aid? Like, do we serve on like, would we be on like a pitched open battleground, or is there like another specific mission?
Mechanically, you are going to have giants leading the raid into the lair of Battleclaw.
Okay.
Likely some of those big ass shield guys.
Yeah.
And if you want, you guys can pilot them to make it a little bit more easier for me and fun for you all. You could each get a giant to control.
Hell yeah.
Dibs on Zolto. He's now the shield.
Anything else you want to discuss with the king before the strike in the morning?
We're heading back to the ship to rest, right?
I think so, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. While we're on the ship, before we all hunker down for the night, I think Rick does want to go visit Valerian.
Okay. I'll go ahead and pull y'all back to the Dragon Cockpit, assuming that this conversation is... You guys have...
I'd like a private conversation, please. Get these NPCs out of here.
Simple enough.
Like private for you and Valerian, or?
Yeah, just me and Valerian.
Okay. Oh, hey, Signy. I got kicked out.
I'll take.
Oh, you want me to record? Understood. I'm a stenographer. I'll be with you right in a tick.
No, get out of here.
Yeah, he's taking it. He's taking that. Oh, yeah, we'll have official recordings for to return to Ontario. Wonderful.
Hey, Captain.
Rick, what's going on?
Well, I didn't know how to say this at the time.
Okay.
And to be honest, I think you probably made the right decision. The Giants are probably the good guys here. And
Okay.
this dragon's probably the bad guy, 100%. I have pretty much good feelings about that. I just don't love that we are getting involved in a war here. I mean, it's not like a full-scale war or anything, but that's kind of not what I thought our ship was going to be about, you know?
I mean, when you put it like that, A war. Ugh.
Look, I don't even think you're necessarily wrong for doing this. Like, this does seem like these people are going to be good allies to us. That, you know, we're probably fighting the bad guys right now. I don't want that to become a habit of ours, that every time we land on a planet, we give martial support to people.
Yeah.
That we get involved in what seems to be 1,000-year-old conflicts. I don't know. Bad taste in my mouth.
I mean, honestly, when you frame it that way, it's actually a great. The way
I don't think we should pull out of this, by the way. We made a commitment, and I'll be with you 100% for this. Just in the future, let's be a little more careful about this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, no, you're totally right. I think with this, and I think back to when we helped the GIF as well. I think we helped the GIF more out of necessity for ourselves as well. But
no, we also made sure not to screw over the you know.
That's right.
The Illiths. We
When they
kind of
wanted
played
to
both
kill.
sides, right?
I think it's a little more difficult in this space because you're right. It is almost like a war because they've already the cephalopods have already attacked, essentially, eating and taking over the bodies of their kin. I looked at it like I looked at it like we were mercenaries hired to get.
That's not great.
Yeah,
that's not better. It's not better to be mercenaries.
And it really does put it in perspective when you say it's in the middle of a war. Because we've made that mistake plenty of times and it's backfired on us as much as it's helped us, so. I'm comfortable, Rick. I'll say this. I'm smart, but I'm dumb. Sometimes I just, shooting from the hip, it kind of backfires a little bit. I'm not great with the musket yet, but,
I don't think your heart was in the wrong place for this one. You want to help out the people that have been helping us, and these do seem like good people. They gave us a fair trial. It's all that's true. I mean, it's 100%.
Yeah, but the concern, and really, maybe not even your concern, but might even be shared with the crew. If, we had the Brailish literally fire on us. Right now, we have to watch our back every time we're out in cyberspace. Not necessarily our point or our problem, as in we didn't cause it, but I do think we need to be a little bit more nonviolent, as much as we can, at least. So if I say or agree to something, just say that. Just call me out on it, honestly. But if not, then if you want to make it a little bit more discreet, just ask for a little officers meeting, and we'll do it.
I appreciate
you have as much as authority as I do, honestly.
That's actually not true. It's 100% you have more authority.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
These things go.
It's not
no,
great.
actually, let me say this now that you've heard me out. You are the captain, and you should be able to make choices, even if I disagree with them. Okay? Like,
That's true.
If you don't think I'm right, don't listen to me. You're the one with the decisions at the end, and I'll follow. It's not, if it's really bad, I'll let you know. But in this scenario, I just thought this is not something I needed to bring up at the time. I think, and like I said, you're probably right. Like, we probably should be helping out the fire giants, but I don't want it to become something that we regularly get involved in.
Yeah. Maybe I've been a little too careful. I don't know. I think about every time if we make the wrong choice, we have a Zorantu, or even worse, we have a Alaric, and it sucks. It's hurtful, but you're right, and I appreciate that. I've been really messing up with this whole since Aaron's been gone. It's been I thought she was going to come back, but we haven't heard anything.
Yeah, that's tough.
I think it's just us.
It's not how this was supposed to go. Erin's not dead. She's just,
Of course,
not gonna be able to help us out anymore. But as far as the crew's concerned, she's not a part of us anymore. And then losing Alaric none of us want that to happen again. But you've been doing a pretty good job. It's not like bad things wouldn't have happened if Aaron were in charge. You can't control that,
Yeah. I mean, I do think about that, but you're right. I think us as officers, and I know you would say it would be fine, but I want to apologize to you and Toad as well. I should have told you about me trying to promote Altaic.
Pop that one on us a little bit.
It felt a little like it felt in the moment for sure. You know, shooting from the hip, a little misfire there, but I think it makes sense for Altaic to have some sort of role, not as established maybe as ours, but
Yeah.
definitely some sort of.
He's definitely more useful than Deckhand. That I think is certain. Maybe we could do a little junior officer program.
Yeah, maybe. I was actually thinking Gus needs some type of right hand man.
Oh boy.
Because after this debacle, ugh.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually a good point. A little someone to keep him straight.
Think of somebody.
Keep him on his toes.
That's right.
Junior security officer at Altaic. Maybe we could do something like that.
Well,
Either
thanks
way,
for talking, Rick. I appreciate you saying something because, I mean, you're right. And I'm sure you rightly saw it, but sometimes we make decisions or I do something like with the full deer situation.
Hey, that worked out.
Yeah, sometimes it works out. Sometimes it's great, but then, you know, sometimes I think when we mess up, if Aaron could do a better job, but it's nice to hear that it's not all bad.
No, yeah. You're my captain, and I'll follow you in the battle, even if I disagree with
You're my best
it.
friend, Rick, so
Hey.
go way back.
Just, think about it a little more next time before you make the decision. That's all I'm going to ask.
No, I take it.
Okay. That's all I got.
Altaic, what are you doing outside the room? Are you trying to listen in, or are you talking to others on the deck? Because the crew would like to know what's going on.
I think you would like to get a vibe of, like, from the rest of the crew of, like, you know, how do they feel? You know, when was the last time they saw an honest to goodness, you know, battle, aside from like the typical like fights or hunts that we do.
Okay. You generally trying to get the gauge of the crew in general?
Yeah, so I think what he wants to do is essentially get a read on their morale.
Okay.
And and try to, you know, explain, like, you know, the progression. Yeah, I think there's a concern of like how we got caught up in this. It's like they are, you know, we've gone through a fair trial in a society that's now being infiltrated and about to be attacked by a single dragon. Not a dragon from like every other clan, not even an ancient one that you've borne witness to so far, but one that seems to be, he's going to use like producing dragonborn and like essentially air quotes. It's just like in a, you know, in a horrific facility.
I'd like you to make me 3 insight checks.
Oh,
And
okay.
then, Toad, I'm gonna ping you to see what you're up to during this trip.
Got it.
Insight. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, give me 1 second. Okay. So, your first check is of what I would call the entertainment And entertainment and like home, like that's what I'm looking for. Like your chefs, your barmaids, like your food service, entertainment, more of your like not like the most non-combatants in your group, right? They are scared. They are worried that we are becoming like they're opining about like what does this mean for the future of the ship. You can't get an insight about whether they feel like they would support it or not.
Okay.
The second group is what I would call like your deckhands and your logistical group, right? So that's your manpower, your blue collar workers. They seem only a few of them served in the last war, and the roles that they served were like camp helper roles. None of them have previously served in combat roles. They don't like the idea, but when it comes to the Brailish, you have a good idea of it's kind of us versus them. And it's back to the old usual of, you know, war against another nation in Corvair. Same shit, different day. In your last group that you speak to, those are the closest thing you have to a militaristic group and faction on the boat, right? That's Chief Gus, the security crew, and some of the more minor security crew that you haven't really dealt with too much, but like the ones that man the boats, right? They take a pessimistic mindset of the nature of war, in which they view that war is the ground state of all humanoids, of all people, and it's only brief bouts of peace by people working really hard to maintain the peace. And unfortunately, we've reached another one of those phases where there's not enough people working towards peace. And they signed up knowing that they could get in a fight. They've been in fights. They're prepared for more. However, if that's going to be the case, if that's the direction that Onder is going, they know that this ship is not designed as a warship. They have heard about Karnath's warships. They have seen the deck of cannons coming out of the Brailler ship. Like, we are not equipped to handle full-scale combat in cyberspace. And to the point of this dragon giant war, they agree with we need more funds to fund what will undoubtedly be our fight against Eberron nations in the future. So you're getting from your militaristic faction supportive of what's being done. From your middle faction, they're kind of neutral about it, and you can't get a good read on your maybe your white collar or your most non-combative faction.
Okay.
Toad, what are you doing during this time? Are you talking?
I'm gonna check in on Locken and Glaive, see how they're doing.
Okay. They seem to be trying to find their role in the ship. Right now, they're trying to integrate themselves as awkwardly as they can with what appears to be the logistical and deckhand crew. So they are moving cargo around when you approach. And when you approach, they put down what they're holding, and they stiffen to an attentive position, almost like like a military soldier snapping to attention type thing.
Oh, please. Don't. That makes me feel very uncomfortable. Please don't do that. I don't like that. Just be yourselves. Unless this is who you are, and then I guess
Nope.
I will deal with my discomfort.
Lockett will look at Glaive. I told you. Just had to check.
No, please. We're not. I mean, I don't think any of us really here are like that, but me especially. Please don't. That's weird. Anyway.
That's a good response. How can we help?
Well, yeah, I was just coming to check on you and see how you're feeling, and this is Belle, and Toad will introduce Belle. Belle is a creation by an old friend who's no longer with us, and she looks a little different now than she used to, but if you can't find me, Belle will keep you apprised of what's going on, right, Belle? Belle just whistles a little, I guess. Great. Anyway, I was just wondering, what, you don't have to be deckhands. Are there other things you're interested in? Like, do you want to learn how to cook, or, perhaps, I don't know, how to heal, or...
I would say we both are not very much interested in the cooking aspect, as we do not eat. We would welcome any skills that you think would be beneficial for passing on to our people. We would not turn that sort of instruction down.
Well, anything you're interested in learning. I get the feeling you weren't really encouraged to try things before.
Most definitely not. But we've already found a very open and welcoming group of individuals aboard this ship.
Good. And no one has given you trouble or bad looks, or...
Oddly, no. Definitely some jumpy folks. It is very obvious who we previously served. But with time, they seem to be mellowing. It has only been a day, so we will withhold our judgments till we have further interactions. What news comes from off the Dragonhawk?
Oh, well, nothing that will put you in direct danger, as we talked about before, but the rest of the officers and I, we're gonna help the fire giants, I guess, in their fight against the dragons, tomorrow. Maybe just doing some scouting. I don't really know. Sometimes we end up in these situations. I don't know. I kind of get tired of fighting, to be honest, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
Lockett gives you a sad look. The cycle is hard to break. One day it will.
I think so too. I hope that you both try some skills that are not practical while you're with us. I mean, Elena over there might teach you how to play the piano if you ask, or don't, I haven't played in years, but I have a viol that I used to play. That you could borrow any time, or
That is
if you want to
kind of-
learn to paint or craft magic, there are lots of things you could try that don't necessarily have to be productive. I hope you try those things too. I think that those would be good for our people too.
I think both of those would be welcome skills to learn when we are not in a scenario of war.
we're kind of not at war right now. You know, you all will stay here in the safety of the Sulat Foundry, and we don't typically ask the crew to put themselves in danger. There's definitely a possibility we could be attacked when we get back to superspace, but
That is my first concern. I would not put it past the Braylwish to ambush us on our way off this moon. Assuming that your fight, scouting, goes well.
I'm sure it'll be fine. We're strong, capable officers. We did kind of get hit with like a really obvious breath weapon earlier, but I just you'll have time to relax too. The culture in Ondair is very different, I think, than the Braylwish culture, and I know you don't eat, but you're welcome to drink some of the river water. I just soak in it. I usually just like turn into a small creature. Rick really hates centipedes, so I really like to turn into a centipede. And it can be fun. You can have fun here. Have you ever had fun before? You should really try it.
My hour goals have been a little bit broader in scope than seeking out fun. Maybe one day. I should like that. I think we both would. Brave nods his head. Hopefully your outing goes well and we do not receive any significant missteps on our way back to safer territory. Perhaps then we can continue our driving force.
I agree. I was thinking after we get back from our trip tomorrow, it might be helpful for you to tell us anything you know about, like, the Braylwish ship, what kind of arms they have, anything you know. You may not know a lot, but
we know enough that may be useful to you and yours. I will share what...
Thank you.
I understand that was implicitly requested of us. We will share what we can of our knowledge of the Braylwish's tactics and specifically the intrigue.
Great. Listen, never mind. I don't want to burden you with my weird thoughts. Please enjoy your time. Again, Belle makes great tea. I know you don't drink. You have mouths. I don't know. I eat sometimes when I'm not. It's not pleasant. I've never had a good time eating, actually.
It doesn't inspire confidence, and
I've only thrown up. I really don't understand.
the desires of the humanoids, we don't always share them. We are different. We are a different species. We won't like the same things. So, nothing against that for them. Just
Yeah, love that for them. Maybe not for us, you know?
Agreed.
Okay. Well, my room down here is open to you. I usually sleep upstairs. So, you guys can take... Cooper sometimes sleeps in there when he's out and about, but...
Ah, yes, the small one.
Yes, do you like him?
He is fascinating. He is, similar in nature of our own design. Where is his origin? I've never seen a construct of his nature before.
Oh, I kind of just summon him. I think he's technically a fae creature, but...
And he appears similar in nature to us.
Yes, everything that I do is very us-natured, and total wild shape into a centipede. Like this. Like I'm a little centipede, but I'm made of metal and wood. I can talk like this. I can talk like this too, I'm just really small.
Now, Cooper, fascinates me. You say that you summoned him from the plane of the Fae, yet from everything I have read on the Fae, creatures of our kind do not originate from that domain. That's interesting.
Huh. I could be wrong about how the magic works. I didn't really pay attention when I was being taught how to do it. I just have a little friend. I don't know. Maybe it was my image of what a little fox would look like if they were more like us. I think the natural world is fascinating, but I think we're fully capable and fascinating too.
You've given me much to think about, Toad. Thank you.
Oh, of course. Take a break. I feel like you've only been on a ship for 1 day and you're already moving stuff around. Maybe take. Do you need money to go shopping? I don't have a lot. I kind of have a gambling problem.
We will address that issue. We will earn our keep as equals to our peers aboard the ship. We understand that there is a standard payment that is acceptable to us at this juncture. Our goals currently do not require financial aid, but maybe down the line, perhaps.
Great. Well, if you need anything, you know where to find me. Finger guns.
Absolutely.
And then back up the stairs.
Okay. Do any of you talk to your ambassadors?
Oh, like Krath?
Or Zephyr?
I could speak to
yeah.
Krath. Or do you want to go?
No, go ahead.
It's just a shot in the dark. But I didn't know if any of you've talked to your crew. But I consider your ambassadors separate. Their mindset's separate from your crew.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think actually, now that you bring it up, I do want to show Krath the little intellect devour sample that we have.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, hey, look at this.
That is terrifying.
Yeah, we found it on a guy's head.
Is this anything like what infected my people?
You know, it's funny you should bring that up. Not really, but sort of. It does turn you into like a zombie in that regard. I mean, it seems like it was slowly taking over its host and turning them into sort of a shell of themselves, so they could pilot it. Basically, it's pretty gruesome, pretty macabre.
That sounds very similar to what happened to my people. But this is of different origins? This is not contagious like that?
No, it's not a spore. See, it's like a living thing. We pulled it out of the guy, and also it could communicate. It had the ability to speak. It was sentient.
Terrifying.
Yeah. So anyway, I need you to study this. I'm going to tell you all about this because if any of these things get in one of our crew's head, we're going to need to do surgery.
Understood. Please don't make me leave the ship for while we're here.
Yeah, of course. And I'll fill Krath in on what happened on the planet and how. Basically, I'll tell him what I did in both of my surgeries.
Okay. Give me a medicine check. I'm assuming the events that we're doing right now is like rolling into the evening time kind of thing. So, go ahead and give me that medicine check.
Gotcha. Roll for pedagogy.
Okay, relatively well. Krath knows the basics of extraction of a foreign body in a brain cavity to prevent further hemorrhaging.
I imagine I'm like demonstrating on like a watermelon. Like, okay, so you're gonna enter in here and like cut open the watermelon, and okay, and then it's gonna be like in this area right here.
Where did my watermelon go?
You did this with a sickle?
Yeah, well, you gotta work with what you got,
I have newfound respect for you and your abilities on the
Well,
doctor.
you didn't respect me before.
More so, I mean,
slightly taken aback.
I understood your skills as a doctor, but not in such wartime, such depraved circumstances in which you were forced to
That is
operate.
where I cut my teeth. I was working with whatever we could find back in the trenches. I mean, my God.
Your planet sounds terrifying.
Yeah. Kind of don't want to remember that, actually. Anyway, so back to the skull.
Hey, Rick,
Yeah.
is this an adversity roll?
Oh yeah, you know what? It's been a while since I did one of those.
It's been
Let's
a
do
long
that.
time.
I think maybe like also the events of the day.
Yeah.
I've got to add it up.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? It was 2D. It was
It's a D8.
yeah.
You choose if it's roll high, roll low. You control what the result of that is.
I still have not failed one of those yet, so this will be interesting. Ooh,
Oh.
okay, barely. I think I'm good because I think I'm on the extreme end. Like I haven't failed any. If that was a 1, I think it would be a failure.
Yeah, and that's I think
yeah.
how we originally discussed it. Is one would be a failure or a range. It's completely within the player character's control. So okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I think Rick just gets a little sad. Just as like all those people I operated on in the trenches. Anyway.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing?
I think Valerian is. I'm just going through each room, really, and probably be down at the corridors and just, on a little notepad, jotting out each room and then putting a little password beside it. And I will use 2 of my only 2 second level spell slots to cast Arcane Lock on 2 of our crew doors.
Okay. 2 of your crew doors, as in like the officer cabin areas.
Yes, I will grab Toad whenever they're free, and
So I will say the room in the back is Gus's, and then I think the
Okay.
4 of you have I think Toad has obviously claimed this one. I think this one's Rick's, right? So yeah, the 4 of you can claim however you want to claim. So
I will do Gus's, and then I will do Toad's.
okay.
Then I will let them pick the password for it as well.
Okay.
It's Cooper Rules 12 with a Z.
Well,
With a Z.
you have to say it, Toad, so it's not like something you write down.
Oh.
You gotta say it with a Z.
I mean, you
Cooper-
could say
yeah,
all of them if
Cooper
you wanted to. I mean,
Rules
that's
12.
oh. I have to say it exactly. Okay. Oh.
Yeah, you try. Make sure it works.
Cooper rules 12.
No, it's rules.
Ooh, it's only like a one-time thing.
Oh, so I have to say it wrong all the time now to get
I'm
it to
so
work?
sorry, Toad. I'm so sorry.
You said it with an S, Valerian. I can't
I
believe you
did.
do that.
Cooper. Well, just don't tell anybody else it, okay?
I did kind of offer Glaven Lockett my room. I might give them the password.
Okay. Yeah. Whatever you feel comfortable with, but at least you know who it has it and who doesn't. So.
Okay. Thank you. I'll keep the grenades in here, I guess.
Yeah, you determine whenever is a good time to give them back to Gus.
I think I'm gonna wait a little while. I'm really mad at him for being so careless.
Yeah, Rick and I talked about having him a little right hand person. So who knows if it's gonna be like someone to keep him in check, someone to it could even be Altaic, But
Oh, I think it should 100% be Altaic. I
Gus
think
would
that
hate that.
I think that might be a good balance for both of them. Hey, do you want some coffee? I made some coffee.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. Did you a little extra?
Oh man, I just want y'all to know, I just noticed it's been forever. I just noticed this back room was also Aaron's room. And her token is still
Aw.
here.
It's still there.
It's still here. Aaron's token is still on the map.
Oh
It's like
no.
And
It's like I can hear Aaron.
I don't have it in my heart to delete the token. So the token just is going to stay in this corner over here.
The spirit of Aaron.
Yeah. Okay. What else?
I'll take a look for Val to tell the captain, like, you know, the like how the crew is doing, and he's gonna, you know, recommend. You should probably talk to the crew as a whole too, because they feel like they're just going through cycles and they're losing sight of the mission, and some context I think would help them to understand that what we're trying to do here is not just serve in wars and just fight in battles, but to stem larger disasters and cataclysms, because we know, or the nation of Ondair is no stranger to much greater catastrophes. We don't have to be so dire about it. Maybe put a positive spin on it. No, this is truly a heroic endeavor in many cases. And what we saw was horrific. I don't know if you want to bring those details. Yeah, there's a lot of surgery involved, and then worse.
Well, I think it's, first of all, thank you for speaking to the crew, getting a little kind of pulse check on them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good idea. I think you're right. We need to kind of get back to our roots of what it is we're trying to accomplish. And I think it's a little further than not getting in or not getting involved into different conflicts. I think it's about setting up trade and exploring, learning, and reporting. And I think we help where we can, when we can, and when it calls for it. But yeah, I'd like to get back to what we're good at. Being
Maybe
pompous and making trade.
If it would, also serve as an incentive, I'd be happy to, lend my, whatever boon I might receive from the fire giants to benefit the crew.
I mean,
I don't have anything particular in mind, but I don't know if the crew wants wants to serve their time, their R&R here on this world, but maybe somewhere else. Maybe they have more luxurious quarters.
I think I think I don't know exactly what would be maybe one singular thing for them, but sometimes when we visit the Revelist Immense, we get everyone out, have a little party. I think people just need a break sometimes, and we've been traveling, at least recently, about 15 days, and we're gonna be stuck here for another little while after that. So maybe we make a stop after this place to somewhere cool.
Somewhere cool. That would be a nice benefit. Without these rings, I'd be scorched.
Thankfully, they gave us these rings, so I can't imagine what my body would look like right now if we didn't have the fire rings. But I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you found me. Where are you sleeping?
Curling with the rest of the crew.
Okay, do you have some type of... Do you have something I need to lock? locked down, anything like that.
Anything that I wear on my person.
You could let him take the other bunk in the officer quarter that was Aaron's open. Because there's 2 beds in that back room.
Okay, and then wait, and then you said Gus is back here too, right?
Yes.
Actually, I'll take as an officer. You've upgraded. Okay. Now I know that we have we talked about scribe, something, maybe some type of recorder, something like that, and I think we'll dive more into what your responsibilities will be, but I think for now you need to be rewarded with a nice more private at least sleeping quarters, and I'll take him up to his new room. I'll get Gus while I'm on the way. Hey Gus, come here. I need to see something.
Sure, Cap. So
I'll take. We'll be taking the other bunk here, if that's okay with you. And I need a password. Something that only the 2 of you or anybody that the 2 of you have delegated to know, so we can keep your door locked and have no unwanted visitors. I was thinking something like Gus and I'll take forever. It could be.
Oh, that's so much more pleasant than the one I had in mind.
Gus slowly makes eye contact with Altaic, and he just says, "Hail on Dare."
Oh. But that sounds like something anyone would say on board would say. Well, that's truly Sarah the password. I would be happy. You know what? How about we just make a long password? Hail on Dare, Gusson I'll take forever. Who would guess this? Who in their right mind would guess this password?
I thought the good, the bad, and the tentacle was a good one too, but I mean, I guess we'll just do Hail on Dare. I think that's good.
Who's the good?
I don't know. Cooper. And I will set the
He's a
password
good boy.
as Hail on Dare.
Wait, that.
Gus and I'll take forever.
Yeah.
Whisper that part after I cast a spell. Just do the first part. I'll take. You could do. I think for it to know that it's you, you have to do the last part. But Gus can just do Hail on Dare.
I hope this recognizes voices because if we ever.
Do you doubt my magic?
I mean, I'm trying to understand the very basic rules of this magic. But all right.
How dare you, Altair?
Look, who am I? Who is brave enough to shout "Hail on Dare" and then walk to? What is the grenade count currently at? It seems important to me as I'll be, sojourning here.
Not very much.
I mean, Gus currently doesn't have any grenades, right?
Yeah, Toad has all the grenades still.
Yeah.
Can't have shit, man.
That's exactly what Gus is thinking. Oh,
Very
shit.
much how he's
Yeah,
feeling,
well-
yeah.
We'll get along famously, or do our best to. But hail on
I'll
Dare.
leave you to it. Move all your stuff in here. I'll take if you'd like to, if you'd be so kind, and have a good night, both of you.
Yeah.
Have a good night. Do you listen to music, Gus?
Oh shit!
Roll
know if you're a
for
late
annoyance. I don't know how else to as the camera fades out.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing? As Gus is having a terrible time and understands this being punishment for his actions.
I'll go talk to Zephyr and see how he's feeling.
Okay. What do you tell him? He's hearing rumors, but he would love to hear from someone who's involved in the situation.
Hey, buddy. How's it going? So we're not. Oh gosh. We're just gonna help a little bit. You know, I think that's right. We maybe made some promises that we would
Sure.
help them fight the dragons, but
The dragons or a dragon singular?
you know, that's a really good question.
I feel like.
So we're gonna help them.
Well, my understanding is there's a singular dragon that you are attempting to face tomorrow. If what you've just word vomited to me and I completely got all in context understand correctly, there is a single dragon acting aggressively. However, what do we know of the other dragons? I'll have you know, the Gith may have issues with continued participation against the Red Dragons as a whole. There was at one time a partnership between their two races.
Oh, that's awkward.
It has been millennia as far as their records show, but I do quite a bit of reading, and there was a time when Gith used red dragons as mounts. There was a partnership between the two.
Huh. Well, I think we're just gonna fight this one guy, Battleclaw the Man-Eater, and his Dragonborn army.
Sounds terrifying.
Well, Altaic says he's kind of smaller than Skallic, so...
Not too horrible then. I fought a shadow dragon. Those are terrible. I would not mess with those whatsoever. Regardless of whether you can see them.
Pirates fought dragons. That's really interesting.
We were not pirates.
Okay, Zephyr. Whatever you say. Toad moves their head like they're winking, but of course
Yeah,
doesn't
I
have
was like,
eyes.
Toad wink.
All I will
Just a
say
little nod.
it may be in your best interest to not continue further hostilities with the Red Dragons as an entire whole. I think it'd be much easier to make an argument back to the Gith that you were seeding out a bad apple. Understanding that there's some conflicts between these giants and the Red Dragons. I don't know why they no longer have a contract, the Gith and the Red Dragons. Didn't look too far into that history, but just letting you know that maybe something that a partnership that could benefit you and your nation in the future, because the Gith are ready to stand behind you, but understanding that removing an entire asset and resource that they've worked with in the past may be problematic in the future.
That's a really good point, Zephyr. Hey, I'm glad you're here.
Happy to be here. Although things do seem like they're going to shit. I saw that cannon shoot Altaic.
He's fine.
From one shot. They had, 20 on the bow?
Listen. Listen.
You're going to need a much bigger ship to take on the Brayless Intrepid in a one-on-one.
We have another ship. We have the pirate ship we stole. Not your ship, a different pirate ship.
I never flew a pirate ship.
Okay, Zephyr. So we have another ship. We have other ships. You know? In Ondair. Listen, I don't want to go to war. So I'm going to do everything I can to keep us from going to war. I know maybe it doesn't seem like that because Brayless attacked us, but...
It only takes the actions of a few. It can be done. But unfortunately, I am not in a position to be one of those few. I trust the judgment of you and yours to be altruistic in nature. Mistakes happen, but I think there is a course in all of these aspects to bring us back to peace. I think it is possible. We are not so far gone as to pull out our largest weapons of war. Yes?
No, of course not. We're not. I don't think we're there yet. I hope we don't get there.
You have many aboard this ship that did not sign up to join a war, Professor. I would remember
I
that.
don't want anyone to go to war. I would rather everyone on the ship stay safe, and I don't want to go back to war.
War brings riches to some. How do you think nobles become nobles? But I digress.
I have no care for nobles, Zephyr. I don't really care about money. I don't think that any of the officers feel the same way. I think that we all feel anti-war, and we'll do what we can to prevent it. I think that bringing Lockett and Glaive on board was unavoidable. And the Brailish reacted poorly because, well, Aaron would say they're horrible people, but I don't know. I think that they're just people, and they make horrible decisions sometimes.
I think you've got the right of it there.
I'm gonna go find Valerian and tell him about the red dragons. Thank you for your insight on that.
I am here, as always. Best of luck. You have a hard journey ahead, but not an impossible one.
Thanks, Zephyr.
Of course.
And yeah, I'll go find Valerian and tell him what Zephyr said about the dragons.
You find Valerian at a cannon. At a cannon, ritually absorbing it into his armory.
You only have one cannon.
Sorry, the ballista is what I meant to say.
The ballista? Okay. You have
Yes.
2 of those.
I mean, I'm not taking it away.
Actually,
I'm
no,
just,
you
I
have-
am absorbing it.
I think you only have 1 ballista. So you got 1 ballista, 1 cannon. So,
Oh. Yeah, I'll just take the cannon then. Yeah,
you're
I'll be at the
attuning to the cannon.
cannon. Attuning to the cannon.
What does attuning to a cannon look like?
I think actually every weapon that Valerian has in his armory, his great sword is out. The flail is opposite that, almost making a greater than sign, and the musket is at the very top, almost forming a complete triangle, but in a triangle around the cannon. And I think a couple of kind of painted on rune symbols fill in the little gaps, and if you look closely enough, it looks like little particles of what makes the cannon. It's being absorbed into where Valerian's hand is placed, and then just being spit back out, almost like a cycle. And he's absorbing the knowledge of how to summon it from this place and recreate it somewhere else.
Oh, I don't want to interrupt what you're doing, but
Oh, it's okay, Toad. Good talk.
well, I was talking to Zephyr, and he mentioned that the Gith may have a problem with us fighting the red dragons. Apparently the Gith had a relationship with the red dragons once upon a time, and
Interesting.
I think we need to be careful. Valerian, I don't want to go to war.
I've been hearing that. Heard Rick. Rick said something very similar, and I told him I'll tell you. I didn't think about it as us in getting involved in a war. I thought about it more of us as mercenaries. But it is a good point. This is, from what we know about the fire giants, this is a war that they've had for a long time. Versus the dragons, particularly the red dragons.
I don't really want to be a mercenary either. I'll fight to protect the people on this ship and to protect, you and Rick and Altaic and
Of course.
our crew. But I didn't even like when we joined with the GIF. I don't
It's
ever
just
want
more
to go
killing.
back. I don't like that. I kind of thought we were going on this adventure to explore and learn about other cultures, and it just seems like we're always getting into fights. And Alaric died.
Valerian's kind of posture drops a little bit. His shoulders drop.
That was a choice that we all made, including Alaric. But I think maybe next time we talk about it before we make decisions like that. Before we make promises. I just think we should maybe help with Battle Claw and then leave the giants to their war.
Yeah, I agree. I think I like fighting. I don't like killing. So when Rick said war and then it just grosses me out. That's the best way to say it. It grosses me out. Defend, justice. Those are things I will happily defend and fight for. But and I think maybe with these people against whatever is in that old foundry, I thought, they're very obviously bad, right? We couldn't even reason with the Dragonborn, but what does that mean?
Are they?
Exactly.
That's the thing. We don't know. I think why you mentioned justice. Why are we the ones who get to decide what justice is?
That's right. Yeah. I think whenever they're hurting people that we cherish, right? That's when we act, and we can be the deciders, or we could be the judgment, and then deliver that if needed. But I think in this scenario, and even with the GIF, honestly, the GIF we helped out of necessity for our ship as well, but we could have easily just said that we were going to do our own thing and did that. Sure, we got out of there one way or the other, but I agree.
Yeah.
And so I'll ask, please, I am not very good at this. I'm smart, but I'm very dumb. And if I say something, promise something, speak out of turn in the sense of speaking for everyone, when it might not be everyone's feelings, just call me out on it, honestly. Or if it needs to be more discreet, just call for an officers' meeting. Well, I have more loyalty to you and to Rick and to everyone on the ship than I do to anything or anyone we'll meet out here.
Okay, I'll speak up more, because I won't stay if we go to war. I'm sorry, I can't do that.
I wouldn't want to be a part of the Dragonhawk either. If we decide to war, or our orders are to kill the Brailish or some other meaningless killing. I agree.
Well, I'll fight to liberate the other Warforged, because I think that that is an injustice. But that's the only cause that I feel strong, and I think that that can be resolved maybe without war. That's my hope, I guess. Do you think? I think we each get a boon, right?
That's right, yeah. And from the way the king was talking, it seems like it's going to be a pretty big boon as well.
I want to use my boon for the auto gnomes, I think.
How so?
I don't know, I just... the Brailish sold them. Like they were property. Traded them like they were nothing to the fire giants, and I just want to make sure that their lives here, that they can come and go as they please, that they're treated well, that they're treated as equals.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I think that's more than reasonable to ask for. And in fact, if we're going to set up shop here in the way of trade, why don't we just make that... I mean, you could, of course, ask the king for that, and I will too. But I think it's... If we do it with trade, we make it so that, like with Wrench and Socket, we make it so that if they are our liaisons or our ambassadors of some sort, and we can only trade with this moon if they're in well order and equals.
Thank you for supporting me in that choice.
Thank you for talking to Laven Lockett. I don't know if any of us could have done what you did, and by what you did, I mean not getting them to join our ship or become Ondarians. You saved their lives. I don't think I could have, like I tried to do with Slozer.
I think you made the right
Dozer.
choice with Dozer. I think it would have been wrong. Keep him. I think that I understand. We were created for the purpose of fighting in other people's wars. We were tools. We were property. And that took me years to let go of and to find some level of peace with, and I know that I'm lucky to be an Ondarian, but I just think that Dozer and the other Warforged, they don't know any different. They don't know that life can be different than it has
That's right.
been for them. So I think letting him go was the right thing to do. And hey, I think you're doing a better job than you think you are. The crew seems mostly happy most of the time, and the mistakes that have happened, I think we all shoulder responsibility for. It's not, you might be the captain, but we're all the officers. We make those choices together, and if you're gonna share the burden of decision making with us, then you have to also share the responsibility of when things go wrong, and stop putting all of that on yourself. Okay?
I think William will look up to you, and you'll see just like the slightest, like his eyes water just very slightly. You'll say, yeah, I agree to it, but I do miss Aaron.
Me too.
Do you remember those days when we were back in Thelanis? Me, you, and Aaron just causing havoc, doing just silly shit. Like, that was so fun. Ugh.
Just no cares, no responsibilities, just it was nice. I think it was the first time I felt like I belonged somewhere.
Yeah, like a community. And the community was just us.
It's
You
still
know,
us.
Yeah, I think we've all done a good job of bringing the ship together more than it was. I think even we got Gus's crotchety ass to laugh a couple times, so he's the toughest one, I think. But thinking about avoiding conflict in the sense of avoiding violence, because conflict doesn't have to be violence, but it turns out to be more often than not. I feel like the more I travel, the more I'm learning why my parents decided to hide my name and to hide me and Delanis with Aaron. I think maybe even I was born to create more war, to end more lives.
That's ridiculous. You're not a person who creates conflict where there is none. You're honorable and you're a little silly sometimes, but I don't know, that just makes you more, I don't mean this in a bad way, but human.
How dare you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I am that now. I think that's maybe what they thought would happen to me. One being from Karnath and the other from Mondaire. And they probably thought I'd join a long line of death dealers or giving the order to do so. But I think they wanted to shield me from that. And then we all joined the war. And
Well, some of us were
made for it. Yeah.
But we're more than what we are made for, or what others expect from us. You have the freedom to make those choices yourself. And I think you're doing a good job.
Yeah. I think we do a little bit more. Try to make my parents proud and try to make sure that we don't turn back to what we were. What people thought they made us for, at least.
We move forward and we prove them wrong.
That's right. And just keep me honest, dude. Anytime I mess up, and I will, keep me honest.
Okay, then I'm going to be really honest with you for a second and say I think it's crazy that you're adding a cannon to your arsenal.
So cool. I thought about the musket. The musket was, pop, pop, but I'm not very good with it. But a cannon. Imagine a cannon right into that.
Doesn't it take like 3 people to use the cannon?
See, yes, but I prep it now, okay? And then I summon it. Just one more little spark, and it's off.
You load aim fire.
Yeah, it takes someone to load it, someone to aim it, someone to fire it, which you could technically do by yourself. It just would take you a really long time to do it.
Well, I haven't done it yet, but just in case, do you mind? And with my free hand, I'm just gonna kind of I'll try to roll actually a cannonball up to my leg and then grab it up. Do you mind putting this into the bag of holding? Just maybe one more as well, just so we have a little extra, just in case.
Oh, sure. With the grenades, I'll put 2 cannonballs and a bunch of black powder.
Oh, Toad, what if we put the purple worm poison? See, okay, let me focus on this. I'm cooking here a little bit.
That reminds me. I gave you some purple worm poison, right?
That's right. Yeah, I have some.
I also have this new potion that I brewed a while ago that I've been meaning to give to you called Vein Fire. It's not an item on my character sheet, but I'll write it down on a piece of paper for you and tell you what it does. But you can apply it to your weapon, and it does stuff. I'll tell you.
Does big hurty.
It
Hurts
does
a lot.
It does lots of poison damage, but yeah, I'll get that over to you. But you can put it on your sword or a cannonball.
See, now we're thinking.
Yeah,
Is it just one use for the for this?
it is.
All
But
of
I can make more.
Okay. Well, I will be your test hub.
If you are going to load the cannonball, you'll need to apply any sort of coating now. Unless you want to unload it, put something on it, then reload.
Well, I think I'm carrying the cannonballs in the bag of holding.
That's true.
Well, can there be one in the actual cannon before I summon it, or no?
Yes. The load action can be done before you summon.
Okay.
However,
So then
if
I
you,
will-
you're right now, you're loading a basic cannonball.
Right. Yeah. So I'll actually, I'll take it out and put some purple worm poison on it. Smear it around.
Just make sure that's noted. The first time that cannon fires off, it's firing off a purple worm poison round.
Now that does come in some definitions would be a war crime. In terms of just a biological weapon, poison cannonball, I don't know. As long as we point at the right target, it's
I
fine.
hate war, guys. Guys, I hate war. Meanwhile,
What's the name of that blup you got?
I am an arsenal. Okay.
I put the vein fire. I'll make an item for it in Foundry at some point, but
I'll make a note to do it for you. I got it.
okay.
Yeah, because I can
that's
set
what vein
that up.
fire does.
Ooh.
If you have any other ones, Toad, that are like you have but are not in Foundry, let me know.
Yes, I do have a couple. that I
Okay,
will- I
send
can
me a
them to you.
list.
Okay, yes, I can do that.
Okay. Any other things that are done before we long rest and call it a night tonight?
Let's maybe do we want to save this for next session? We could also determine who's going to be coming with us, if anybody's going to be coming with us from the ship.
Yeah, I mean, you can make that call now or you can make that call later. It's pretty easy since you all have the character sheets.
We
Signet
could,
probably. Yeah. No. Yeah.
no, that sounds fine.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's actually figure this out when we actually do it.
Yeah. Probably
Yeah.
makes sense.
Okay. All right. Anything else before you take your long rest for the night? Okay.
That's all I got.
No response. All right. With that, you all fall into your beds or take up your stations, and for 3 of you, you have recollections of your time in the last war. Mostly not pleasant dreams. You find it hard to find proper rest tonight. Altaic, maybe you dream of something a little bit different, or maybe you dream of Altaic's old memories of war and his limited interactions with it, but that's to your own device.
Mhm.
And with that, we will call this session ended.